think it's working. Thanks, Mijai. I hope you're having a great day as well. Um, oh, what just happened? Okay, I think that worked. Okay, that was weird. The end is near. Okay. Um, yeah, good to see you too, Jason DeBateman. I don't know if you were doing a bit there, but I missed it. Um, hey, Catholic Thinker. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say the person in the guest queue, based on that username. Yeah, no. Oh, hey, thank you. All right. Okay. I don't know. Hey, thanks for the support, Nobody on Fire. Appreciate it sincerely. Thank you, genuinely. Um, Honestly, the way you guys have supported me have made it such a huge difference. It's what's allowed me to, start the process of going back to school, to try to get a, philosophy degree. Um, it's what's allowed me to improve my setup here, to get better monitors, more monitors, to get a better camera. And yeah, I mean, it just continues to help me to take steps that are going to improve the stream. So thank you immensely. Speaking of improving the stream, if you guys are have YouTube, whatever, if you're interested in uh, dropping a subscription for me over there, I'd greatly appreciate it. If I can get to at least 1,000, that kind of opens up some doors, allows me to do some more things. So just trying to get to that point. If you're willing to go over there and follow, great. If not, no worries. Also, I do have a Discord. It's tinyurl.com/ogardebates. Opportunity for us to build community, work, talk together, talk about, different arguments, positions, reasoning, things that we're reading, so on and so forth. So just want to let you guys know that those things uh, exist, and would love to, have you be a part of it. I don't know why, whatever. But yeah, if you are an adult, 18 plus, and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in God, I'd be happy to have the debate with you. Um, Hopefully we can. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay. Give me 1 second. We can try to get the conversations going. Um, hmm. um, Hi, Jeremy over on YouTube. Unfortunately, God is not real. And if you'd like to debate, feel free to come over to TikTok and we can have that conversation. So once again, if you are, thanks, Casey. I'm glad that people use the little stickers or whatever they're called, emotes. I have no idea what the fuck they're called. Um, yeah, if you want to join the debate, Jeremy, come over to TikTok. That's where I do the debates. It's at Ogar Debates. Feel free to join. Okay, so if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are an adult and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in God. Casey, thank you so much for the fireworks. That's fucking awesome. Sincerely, thank you so much. Your support means so much to me, and I don't know how to thank you enough, but all I can do is keep saying thank you. Um, I don't know if they're emojis or emotes or stickers or what the fuck they are, right? Like I don't have any fucking idea. Uh, but anyway, we'll try to see if we can have a good conversation here. Hi, goalie. How old are you?
Um, Wait, what?
How old are you?
How old do I have to be?
How old are you?
Oh, okay. I'm just turned 17 last month.
Okay. You have to be 18 plus. That's why I say that you have to be 18 plus, right? If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. High facility, how old are you?
You are an extremist, you are a faggot, and you are a nigger.
Okay, well, obviously that's going to be a super productive conversation. You know what we do? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because of hate speech. Yeah, I took them down already. Guest New Live violated our hate speech, hateful behavior. Yeah. All right. Let me check something here. Okay. I don't know why everything has to be so fucking stupid. Really? Why? I'm just trying to... Whatever. All right. Okay, so once again, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are an adult, that you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide rational justification to believe in a God. Sheen, how old are you?
I'm 50.
Okay, and can you do anything about the background noise?
You said what's the noise in the background?
No, I'm asking if you can do anything about it. You know, like make it quieter.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, what God do you believe in?
Yeah, I got it. How's that? That's better?
No, it's not. What God do you believe in?
I believe in the teachings of Christ.
Okay,
it's only one. So it's only one God. But
okay, and what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide rational justification to believe in a God?
Well, the way the fall of man explains everything.
And how do you demonstrate that there was a fall of man?
Well, think about it. It's said from the beginning. It says something about, with Adam and Eve. And,
no,
Adam.
That's just assuming that the Bible is correct, but I don't assume that. Why should I believe in the Bible?
Why should you?
Yeah.
Because the Bible don't got nothing to lose. You do.
Okay, that's not an answer. What is the reason that I should believe in the Bible?
Because you have to be saved before you leave this planet, brother.
That assumes that the things in the Bible are true. I don't believe the things in the Bible are true. So you can't appeal to the things in the Bible as reasons for me to believe the things in the Bible. So what is a reason external to the Bible that I should believe in the Bible?
Can I ask you a question then?
No.
No, I can't ask you a question.
Correct. What is the reason I should believe in the Bible?
Because the Bible don't have nothing to lose. You do.
Okay, so you're just going to repeat it, and that means that it's time to move on. All right, if you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that will provide rational justification to believe in a God. Wow, thank you so much, Parker. Thank you. Oh, maybe Easy E is not going to join. That's unfortunate. Okay, if you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that will provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, Ortez. How old are you?
I am 40.
And what God do you believe in?
I believe in Jesus Christ.
Okay. What would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
Already got to know, man, that Jesus is real.
What's that?
God is real. God is real.
That's the claim. What's the argument or evidence that would justify that claim?
It's all in the Bible, man. It's all in the book. Have you ever read the Bible?
Why should I care what the Bible says?
Because, man, it's all there. It's for you.
Why should I care what the
What?
Bible says?
Well, it's up to you if you want to care or not, man. But I mean, you should give it a chance.
Well, I'm just asking if there's a reason why I should care what the Bible has to say.
Man, God is real, man. Like.
Okay, so you don't have any argument or evidence. You just have circular arguments.
Well, I'm just letting you know.
Okay, well, have a good one. I'm just letting you know that God isn't real. All right. If you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are an adult and that you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Thank you so much, everybody, for the support, for sharing, for liking. Appreciate it so much. Commenting, that all that interaction helps a ton. What's happening? Why is everything frozen? TikTok is so dumb sometimes. But anyway, thank you so much for all the interaction. I appreciate it. Thank you for the shares, tapping the screen, commenting, all of that. Thank you just for being here. Appreciate you regardless of any of that other stuff. And then, of course, thank you so much to the people supporting Guido, Poopman Jones, Wendy, Parker, Colette, Lawn Doctor, Casey. Thank you all so much, sincerely. Lou, thank you so much for the support. Genuinely. Glad to see you here. Honored to have you. And sincerely, I appreciate the support. Yeah, I am very lucky to have a lot of awesome people here supporting, yourself included, Lou. Okay, again, if you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure you're an adult and you actually have some argument or evidence for God. Hi, Roger. How old are you?
I'm 54.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
Well, there's only one God. There's only one source.
I didn't ask
But
how many
let me-
there
let me
are.
explain-
Roger. I didn't ask how many there are. I asked you what God you believe in.
It doesn't really have a name. The faith that I learned about in prison was the original faith. It talks about the cosmic breath,
Okay, I don't really give a
spark,
fuck about any of this. Just tell me the version of God you believe in.
the one I perceive.
Okay, I'm going to ask you one more time. If you can't give me a direct, not unambiguous answer, then I'm just going to move on. What God do you believe in?
Well, the 51 years of my life, I didn't believe in God either.
Okay, well, that's not an answer. All right, if you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide your rational justification to believe in a God. Also, it's very important that you tell me what God you believe in when I ask. I think it's a pretty simple thing to ask for, right? All right. Is Javi going to connect? That's the real question. Fuck all this does God exist stuff. It's really about whether or not Javi's going to connect. And unfortunately for all of us, the answer to whether Javi's going to connect is the same as the answer for whether God exists, and that's no. All right. Hey, Snipster, how old are you?
18.
What God do you believe in?
Their hairline.
Okay. So I need to write that down. Okay. We're gonna go ahead. Cool. And all right, if you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are an adult and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hey, thanks, Goblin Brain. Fuck yeah. Lou, thank you so much for all the shares. God damn, that is sincerely appreciated. Okay, well, try to talk to Boy Who Became a Man. That sounds like fun. That happened to me too, actually. Hi, Boy. How old are you?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, hi.
19.
Okay, what God do you believe in?
Jesus Christ.
Okay, and what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
The Bible.
And how does the Bible provide evidence?
The Bible is historical. It's a historical book that has multiple events
Okay, so you're saying that any book that has any events in it that really happened, or maybe people that really existed, or places that really existed, everything else in the book is also true?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the
Okay.
Bible has
Well,
historical.
yeah, so it only matters that the Bible has historical accuracies in it if the point or the claim is that any book that has historical accuracies can be relied on completely. Is your claim that any book that has any number of historical accuracies in it can be relied on completely?
Um, I mean, I guess if you're gonna say that, then you'd have to study the book and see if what it's saying is true or not.
No, I'm asking, just answer my question. Is that your claim?
Not every book, no, I disagree.
Okay, so then what is it about the Bible that would give me a reason to believe it?
Well, Jesus Christ,
No, what is it about the Bible that would give me reason to believe it?
the historical events that's in the Bible.
Okay, so you're saying that if a book has real historical events in it, then everything else in it can be relied on?
Then I'm saying if you're gonna say that, you're gonna have to.
I'm
study
just
it. I don't
asking
see-
you a yes or no question. Is it your claim that any book that has actual historical events in it can be relied on completely?
Whoa,
Okay,
chill.
so then I still don't have any reason to believe in the Bible. So what is a reason to believe in the things that the Bible claims?
When did I say that?
So I just want
don't
you
know when I said-
I just want you to give me a reason I should believe what the Bible says. That's it.
And I brought up historical claims. and you
Okay,
said
okay. So hold on.
any
All right,
book-
we're gonna put this on the screen so that we can follow it. Okay, so you're saying the reason to believe what's in the Bible is because it has real historical events in it. Okay, so what from here gets us to therefore you should believe what's in the Bible? Or here, no, you know what? Actually, I'm so sorry. I should have done this the other way. This is the conclusion that we're reaching. What's the argument for this conclusion?
Well, I guess if you believe what the scholars use as the Bible as a historical truth, because there's some truths in the Bible, correct?
Scholars say there are some historical truths in the Bible. Okay, why does that matter? How does that get us to we should believe in the Bible?
And I would say the evidence supporting a divine or a creator. I'm going to say creator.
Okay, so this is just not following at all. Like, you're not giving me any reason to believe in the Bible whatsoever. If you want to shift your claim to saying that there's a creator, then we can talk about that. Which do you want to discuss?
I mean, I really want to talk about the Bible because it talks about our creator.
Okay, what is the reason to believe the things in the Bible?
All right, we're going in circles.
Yeah, I agree. You're not able to answer the question in any kind of meaningful way. All right, if you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence for God. Thank you so much for the support, Mikey, Mushroom, Goblin Brain. Appreciate you so much. Flarf Blarf. That's a lot of fun. Thank you for the helmet. You fucking rule. Lupine, Bear. Oh, yeah, the fucking sex group. Thank you so much, Poopman Jones. Poppy Loco as well. I appreciate you. Okay. Yeah, we'll move on to the next person. Hopefully we can have some kind of productive, linear, good faith conversation. High Perception, how old are you? Okay. Probably the best convo we've had tonight. All right. Hi, Zalaris, how old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay. What God do you believe in?
I believe in Jesus Christ.
Okay. And what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide rational justification to believe in a God?
His tomb is empty.
How did we determine where his tomb was?
Through the biblical accounts found in the Holy Bible.
Which
and
biblical accounts?
Septuagint. Well, the Dead Sea Scrolls.
The Dead Sea Scrolls told us where the tomb of Jesus was.
Yes, it did.
Wow, that's fucking amazing considering that the Dead Sea Scrolls only include
Well-
the books from the Old Testament. So the fact that some things from the Old Testament it told us where the tomb of Jesus was, that's fucking crazy. So what specifically in the Old Testament, in the manuscripts found in the Dead Sea Scrolls, told us about the tomb of Jesus?
Have you read the book of Isaiah?
That's a question. I'm asking you specifically where in the Dead Sea Scrolls it refers to the tomb of Jesus.
Well, you're gonna have to follow me because if you've please don't mock. That's what demons do.
Yeah. Well, please don't lie. That's what sinners do.
Conversation?
Please don't lie. That's what sinners do. So what is the source?
Don't
Like
call God's child a liar?
Yeah, you are lying right now, and you could prove me wrong and show everyone you're not lying by telling us where in the Dead Sea Scrolls it talks about the tomb of Jesus.
It does, and if
where?
I can find it for you.
I'm going to ask you one more time, and if you don't give an honest answer, which just cheat code for you here, the honest answer is I was mistaken. It doesn't talk about Jesus' tomb in the Dead Sea Scrolls. So just letting you know the answer before you get the question. But this is the last time I'm asking. Where in the Dead Sea Scrolls specifically does it refer to the tomb of Jesus?
Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6.
You think that Isaiah talks about the tomb of Jesus?
Are you going to read it or no?
You're telling me that this is going to tell us. You're telling me that if I read this, you're telling me if I read this verse, it's going to tell me where the tomb of Jesus was.
Yep.
Okay, I'm pulling it up. So, for a child has been born to us, a son given to us, authority rests upon his shoulders, and he is named Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. So you're a lying fuck.
No, you have to continue on to Isaiah 56.
I told you this doesn't. You said that this verse. You specifically said this verse will tell us about the tomb of Jesus.
Or
doesn't
context.
refer to the tomb of Jesus. So you lied your fucking ass off, and I'm done. Just lying on the Bible. There's nothing Christians hate more than what the Bible actually says. Lied about the Dead Sea Scrolls. Sick. You know, a great way to convince people that you're correct is to just lie blatantly about your sources. That's a really good way. Yeah, I think Isaiah is in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Yeah, that's my understanding. Unbelievable. All right, if you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Oh, hey, thanks, Colette. Yeah, we're rocking some Xenomorph action, and if you go down far enough, doesn't this have oh, shit. Oh, I thought this was the one with Ripley on it. It doesn't have Ripley. It just has a chest burster. Damn, I thought this had Ripley on it. Well, clearly I don't know even understand my own shirt, so massive blunder. I probably should end the stream. Oh, you're going to provide some clarification on Isaiah, CT?
Yeah, so I actually just, so I did double check it. So the reason the Dead Sea Scrolls were so important is one of the major arguments, especially for Protestants, on rejecting like the Book of Maccabees and a lot of the other books that the Catholic Church uses, is because it was thought for a long time that there wasn't an Arabic or Hebrew manuscript of these books, and so the argument was that in order to be inspired by God, they needed to have originally been written in Hebrew, and that's why after the destruction of the temple, the Sanhedrin came together, decided on their canon of books, and removed that from their canon because they couldn't find the Hebrew translation of a lot of these books. Isaiah was never a part of those contested books, but the Dead Sea Scrolls had the Hebrew manuscripts of the books of Esther and things like that, thereby giving support to them being inspired books within, the theology.
Well, I think that's all silly, but the main thing for me is there was the claim that verse in Isaiah would tell us about the tomb of Jesus, and it obviously didn't, and that was all that really mattered to me.
But I was confused because it's like Dead Sea Scrolls, Isaiah and Dead Sea Scrolls, there was nothing important about the Dead Sea Scrolls in relation to Isaiah. It had all to do with the
No, I think that the importance to Isaiah in the Dead Sea Scrolls is that in the Dead Sea Scrolls we found an older copy of Isaiah than that like it was like 1,000 or 1,500 years earlier than the previous oldest copy of Isaiah we had, and it was like very close. Like the content was extremely similar to the later version, and that's supposed to be some evidence of like preservation of the message or whatever, which is fine. Whatever. I think that's dumb in its own right, but at the end of the day, I think all that really matters is just it's obvious that there's nothing in the Dead Sea Scrolls directly about Jesus. The best you could probably say is that you think some of the prophecies included in books that were in the Dead Sea Scrolls could have been about Jesus. That's a totally different argument, and certainly none of them say anything about the tomb.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. It was just like the reason why the Dead Sea Scrolls were so culturally important, I'll say, is because of the fact that it had the Hebrew manuscripts that people didn't think existed for a lot of the books that Catholics have, but Protestants don't.
Fair enough. Well, appreciate you, man. You have a good one.
You too.
Get a little history lesson there. But yeah, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. I liked. How old are you? Dino Nuggies. Hello. All right, fair enough. Hi, Ronnie. How old are you?
19.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
Jesus Christ.
Cool. What would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide rational justification to believe in a God?
I would say the earth was created by Jesus and God.
What are you doing right now? Are you pissing?
No, why?
What are you what is the water?
Oh, my fish tank.
Oh, fair enough, I guess. So what's the argument or evidence for God?
The world just didn't get created by nothing, I believe.
What's the reason to think that the world was created?
Because Jesus, God, made it for everybody.
That's just the claim. I don't grant that it was made, that it was created. So what's the reason to think that it was created?
Because we're on Earth right now, and God made it. We're not.
That's just restating the claim again. Do you understand the difference between making a claim and supporting a claim?
Yeah.
No, Mom's calling.
What'd you say?
Do you understand the difference between making a claim and supporting a claim?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me the difference, please?
That's not the point right now, but
yeah, that is the point right now. I need you to demonstrate for me and for everybody else that you understand the difference between making a claim and supporting a claim.
Okay, but you're
So what's the difference between making a claim and supporting a claim?
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Do you want me to explain it to you, or do you not care? Or maybe you need to go talk to your mom.
No.
Okay, so making a claim is saying the thing that you think is true. Supporting a claim would be giving reasons to think that thing is true. So I already know that you think that the earth was created. I'm asking for the reason to believe that.
I said a reason. God made the earth.
No, that's just the claim that it was created by God. What is the reason to believe that the earth was created by God?
Because there's proof from in the Bible.
Okay, so again, you're just claiming that there's proof now. So you went from claiming, you're just making the claim, to now claiming that there's reasons to believe it. I don't want you to make the claim, and I don't want you to claim that there are reasons to believe the claim. I want you to provide the reasons to believe the claim. This is the last time I'm asking. If you can't give me a reason to believe it, I'm just moving on.
You can move on, but I'm
okay,
saying...
cool. Yeah, clearly you don't have any interest in actually supporting your position. So what are you going to do? If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are 18 plus and that you have some kind of argument or evidence that will provide rational justification to believe in a God. Thank you so much for the support, Goatman, 3 Pips, Oppo, Maurice, Owly, Lupine, Poopman Jones, and Lou sending Catholic Thinker support. Thank you. Lem, Lou also for the support. Bradley N. Lem, thank you everybody so much, sincerely. Oh, Poppy Loco, thank you. That's fucking amazing. Thank you so much, sincerely. Man, that's huge. Oh, Kimchi, you know I love seeing you here. Thank you so much. Infectious Bites as well. Puppy Loco, thank you so much for the massive support. Genuinely, it means a ton to me. Grace, appreciate you so much. Thank you. Hey, Skog, always good to see you. Ah, Kimchi with the panther paws. Fuck yes, I love those so much. I'm a big fan of the kitties, so huge fan of that. Parker, thank you. All right. Anyway, one more time. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are an adult and you have some kind of argument or evidence for God. Oh, that's the hardest I've partied in a long time. Thanks, Poopman Jones. Okay. Apparently, Fujita didn't want to talk. Just claims. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see if we can talk to the next one. Have an actual conversation. No, Grace, I am not cute. Nothing that happens here is cute. I'm a grown man. Grr. Hi, Bob. Bob, how old are you?
41.
Cool.
If you see
what God do you believe in?
The one that invented the Orion's belt, that in which has
okay, so I'm gonna. I'm asking you to tell me. I'm asking you to tell me which God you believe in, not what it created. What God do you believe in?
God.
Okay.
There's only one
I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you one more time, Bob.
Penis, bro. He has a flat.
Okay. Well, we're just getting the winners tonight. All right. With a name like Bob, it just made me think of Bob Loblaw's Loblog. Don't lie to me like that, Autismal. All right. Yes, back to Bob Loblaw's Loblog. Oh. I'm never not going to make. Well, I've never noticed that before, Autismal, and you're just telling me now that you're lying to me every live. So I don't I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, I'm gonna reference Arrested Development. That's just gonna happen. But yeah, currently don't have anybody requesting. So if you are 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God, feel free to request, and I'd be happy to have the debate. In the meantime, thank you so much for the support to Poopman Jones, Melatonin, Colette Alexandria. Oh, and Melatonin. Thank you. You guys fucking rule. Sincerely appreciate it. Yeah, I highly recommend Arrested Development. I think it's like the probably the smartest sitcom ever. Yeah, there's always money in the banana stand. All right. Lucy, oh yeah. Hi, Rebus, how old are you?
22.
Okay, what God do you believe in?
I believe in Al McWiggin, which is what you look.
Okay. All right, well, maybe we'll have a good conversation tonight, you know? I mean, it could happen. It certainly could happen. But it remains to be seen. Okay, so if you are 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide rational justification to believe in a God, feel free to request. I'd be happy to debate your position. Okay, well, we'll see. We will see. Hi, Travis. How old are you?
How's it going? 19.
Okay, what God do you believe in?
I believe in a creator. I don't believe in any man-made God per se.
Okay, but you believe there's like an immaterial mind that created and sustains the universe, something like that?
Yeah, I believe there's a creator. I just don't know who the creator is.
Okay.
And I don't believe in man-made religion.
Okay. And then what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
Yeah, so if you look at a car, right, the car wasn't made by itself. Someone had to put that car together, right? That's how I look at the human body or like everything
Well,
else.
there's a huge difference though. We have background information about cars, so we know, like if we just came across a car with no
Yeah.
information on how it came into existence and we had never seen a car before, I don't think we'd be justified in drawing conclusions about how it came into existence unless we had some, like all other background information about similar things like cars. So when we talk about a
mean,
building
yeah,
or a
if
painter
yeah.
or any of those things, or excuse me, a building or a painting or a watch or any of those things, right? Like obviously we have background information about how those things come into existence, so it's reasonable for us to conclude that they have, someone that made them intentionally. We don't have that kind of background information about the human body, right? Just because a
Not
building,
yet, per se.
just because a painting needs a painter doesn't mean a human needs a humaner. And it also doesn't mean that a universe needs a universer. In order to draw that conclusion, you would need a lot more than just
There's a
saying,
cause and effect, right?
well, I mean, if you want to pivot to that type of argument, we can discuss it. Are you pivoting away from this design
No, I
thing?
wasn't trying to like to pivot. Like I was trying to include, like try to put that into my point. Like you're saying, like it's not like that for everything. Like how you said, like for the cars. So it's not like that for like. I'm trying to say like there's a cause and effect in things. And
Yeah,
I
but
guess,
cause and
yeah, I
effect
guess
is
I am
massively
pivoting.
cause and effect is a massively different thing than intentional creation. Right? Like if I knock over a domino and it hits the next domino, that is just a natural cause, right? That's a natural process, versus the design the dominoes make, that was intentionally designed, right? That was intentionally created. There's a huge difference between those things. So, and you can't pivot from one to the other without, like, you can't use logic or reasoning about one and apply it to the other without equivocating.
All right, I'm still learning all this, like debating and all. Like I'm still like learning
Yeah,
and
fair.
stuff. But
Me too, man.
It's cool. Thank you for the information. I didn't look at it that way, and I'm still learning every day. I do believe there's a creator. There's just no way. This life's too beautiful.
Well, here's
Just
something
too
that
beautiful.
here's a thought that I want to, kind of shoot your way and see what you think, and maybe have
Yeah.
a response, maybe you won't. As far as I can tell, cause and effect are like the relationship between a cause and the effect seems to be spatiotemporal, right? It
What
seems
does that
like
mean?
so it seems like in order for A to cause B, there has to be some spatial and temporal relationship between A and B.
The two.
Like
Okay.
like the reason that the cue ball causes the effect of all the other balls spreading when I break is because the spatial and temporal relationship between the cue ball and the ball that it hits, and then the spatial and temporal relationships between that ball and all the rest of the balls, right? Like it's that spatial temporal relationship that facilitates something causing another thing. So it seems
Do
like,
you,
go ahead.
yeah. Do you believe in the Big Bang?
I think that it's the best explanation we currently have to explain the expansion of the universe. But I also am aware that it has nothing to do with whether or not the universe has a beginning.
Fair enough.
But what I'm trying
Fair
to
enough.
explain here is just the concept of cause and effect and how it's a
Yes.
spatiotemporal relationship. The cause has to be in some way, some spatial and temporal way related to the effect. So if that's the case, if causation is a spatial temporal relation, then that means that cause and effect is not a concept that could possibly apply if there's no time and space. But if God is the creator of the universe, then that means he's the creator of time and space. If he's the creator of time and space, that means that he exists outside of time and space. But if he exists outside of time and space, and causation can only happen inside time and space, that means that God cannot stand in causal relations to anything. If he can't stand in causal relations to things, he can't cause anything. If he can't cause anything, he certainly can't create anything. If he can't create anything, then obviously he didn't create the universe. However, if God exists, then he did create the universe. So the only reasonable conclusion we could draw based on this understanding of causation is that God couldn't possibly exist.
I just find it very fascinating how people. It's crazy. I find it hard to break that barrier, like in the Big Bang, like it just.
We're not
started
talking
by
about the Big
itself.
Bang. Yeah, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the
No, you're
concept
talking
of
about
cause
God,
and
I know.
effect. So what is there a concept? Is there a version or an account of cause and effect that would not include space and time?
I don't know.
Well, fair enough. I would say that that's the thing that's something, in my opinion, that you need to think about, Because if
Yeah.
you can't provide an account of cause and effect that is independent of space and time, then there's no way for it to be any kind of coherent to say that God caused the universe to come into existence.
I guess we'll figure it out when we pass away, brother. You
I
have a good rest of your
disagree.
day.
You have a good one. Yeah, when we pass away, we'll stop existing, so we won't figure anything out. Okay. Okay, I don't know what that means. All right, yeah, so that was the only person requesting. Don't currently have anybody. Apparently, it's going to be a slow night. Thank you for the support, Poopman. Oh, supporting Travis. Thanks, Poopman Jones. That's really kind of you to support guests like that. He was being really good faith, so definitely appreciate that. Actually, I should write that down. Good faith talked about causation. Okay. Thank you, Lem and Zipzop. Appreciate it. What's Zipzop from? Should I know that? I feel like I should know that. I'm looking it up. I'm sorry. I'm way too fucking easily distracted. Nope, that's not it at all. Okay, well, apparently it's not what I thought it was. You'll tell me. Uh-oh. Now I'm worried. All right, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe. Oh, shit. You mean you're going to come up and tell me?
What's up, homie?
Yo.
No, it's just a thing that Planet Peterson. I don't know if you know Planet Peterson.
Oh,
He used
that's
to
where I've
use
heard it.
Zipzop as like an alternate for God and use it in place of God. Now he uses Spanky, so
Okay, that's where I've heard of Zipzop. Well, as you're probably aware, here we talk about Eunice, the universe farting unicorn.
oh shit. Mine's the Hector, the purple flying space hippo.
That is amazing. But I still think Eunice is the best. Nobody's as awesome as Eunice. She's really the ground of everything. And also the Eunice creation story is fantastic. If you haven't heard it, she once ate a spicy hypotenuse and then farted out the universe. And because the fart was from the hypotenuse, that's where all the mathematical and logical properties of the universe came from. So I have an amazing grounding for math and logic that I don't think normal theists could ever touch.
I can show you the purple flying space hippo real quick. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, it was a spicy hypotenuse. Well, you're not going to be as badass as Eunice and not eat spicy food. I mean, come on. Waiting to create a new line? I don't know what you're talking about. Hey! Does that work? Yeah, that's fucking awesome. Oh, looks like he's farting too.
Yeah, he shot the universe into existence.
Nice. It sounds like maybe the hippo and Eunice need to collab.
Bet. All right, I'll bounce.
I have a good one, man. That's amazing. I love it. Absolutely love it. All right. If you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hey, Alfredo, how old are you?
I'm 45.
Okay. And what God do you believe in?
I believe in a creator. I believe in Jesus Christ.
Okay. And then what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would give us reason to believe in a God?
Well, I'm just like you, man. I like to use science. I believe in science. I believe science was created by God. I don't think God is magic or, you know.
Okay, well, I don't need you to tell me what you don't think. Just give me the argument or evidence for God, please.
Okay, well, real simple. If you ask an atheist, what...
Okay, I don't want you to talk about other people's positions. Just give me the argument or evidence that would conclude God exists.
Okay. So if there's no proof of the afterlife, like you can't prove that nothing happens after death, but there's thousands and thousands of YouTube videos and all these videos of spirits and ghosts and angels and
there's a lot of bullshit out there. I agree.
Yes. Okay. Only one has to be real
Okay,
to
well then what you
exist.
need to do is demonstrate the one that's real.
Okay, so basically you're telling me
So
you went through
demonstrate the
all
one
the
that's real.
so you went through all
So
the evidence and
demonstrate the
found
one that's real.
Okay, you're gonna just keep
So
repeating?
demonstrate the one that's real.
You demonstrate which one's not.
Do you understand what a
It's either
burden
it's
shift
all-
is? Do you know what a
You're gonna
burden
find
shift
certain-
is?
Yes, it's a
Okay.
fallacy.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you're doing right now is burden shifting. So what you need to do, if you're saying the reason to believe in God is because of these spirits or demons or ghosts or afterlife or whatever, then you need to demonstrate that some degree of that stuff is true. That's what you need to do right now. So I'm waiting for you to do that.
Okay, then as you know, you can't prove that, right?
So
So
you
let's
don't
go-
have a reason to believe in God is what you're saying.
So let's go into biology.
So you're saying you
Because
don't have a reason to believe in God?
there has to be a power.
So you're saying that there wasn't a reason to believe in God in that stuff, right?
Yeah, there is a reason, but
Okay, no, hold on. So if there's a
Alright.
reason to believe in God in all of the, like the spirits and demons and ghosts and all that, then provide it. How do we get a reason to believe in God out of that stuff?
well, there's hundreds and thousands of videos. I mean,
That's not the
proof.
point. You need to demonstrate that at least one of them is real. Which one can you demonstrate is real?
If you rob a bank,
Which one
and
can
they
you
catch
demonstrate
you,
is real?
They can use it as
Which
evidence
one
in
can
a
you
court of law.
demonstrate is real?
So I can use
I'll
these
ask you
videos
one more
as
time,
evidence in a
Alfredo.
court of law.
Alfredo, I'll
You're
ask
gonna
you.
talk over
I'll
me?
ask you
You're
one
gonna
more
talk
time.
over me.
If you can't
Don't
provide the
laugh at me.
evidence, then I'm just going to move on.
my argument,
So, what is the
just
evidence or
talk over me.
argument that at least one of those is real?
You're not gonna let me talk. You're not gonna let me talk.
I'm asking you to give me the argument or evidence that one of those
You
is
won't
real.
let me. You won't let me. You won't let me. You'll just
Okay,
talk
so
over
I'm
me.
going to ask you one more time. If the next thing you say after I'm done asking this question is anything other than presenting the argument or evidence that one of these is real, then I'm just going to take that as a concession. So what's the argument or evidence that at least one of those
If you
videos is
let me
real?
talk, you don't understand. How do you learn?
Okay, fair enough. Notice how instead of actually providing the argument or evidence, he wanted to cry about not being able to provide the argument or evidence. Because he could have just provided the argument or evidence, but he knew he couldn't, so instead he had to cry. Because that's all he had. Thank you so much, Liz Biz, for the support. Love seeing you here. Infectious Bites, thank you so much. What is this? Manifesting? That appearing into the orb is what it looks like. That's awesome. Thank you so much. It's sincerely the support like that just makes such an enormous difference. I can't thank you enough. Zipzop, thank you. Lem, you guys fucking rule. Okay. So once again, don't currently have anybody requesting. Seems like it's really slow tonight. Do I start yapping about something? So I was kind of running an informal version of this earlier, but I really like this argument that God can't exist because of his because of causation. The idea being that if God exists, he must have caused the universe to come into existence. That's obviously like what God is, the causation of the universe, or the creator of the universe, rather. If God caused the universe to come into existence, then that means he caused space and time to come into existence. But if that's true, that means he must be outside space and time. But if that's true, and if it's also true that causes are inside space and time, then that means that he couldn't have caused the universe to come into existence. And as far as we can tell, causes are only inside space and time, so that means that it's not possible for God to exist. I have heard allegedly Ian's argument about objective morality, and they convinced me to change from a kind of nebulous. I kind of floated between non-cognitivism and subjectivism, and I didn't really have a very firm view. I know those are very different views, but I'm just saying I didn't really have a firm position. Ian did convince me that morals are objective, and since then I've kind of departed from Ian's view. I think Ian is an ethical rationalist, and I'm a neo-Aristotelian ethico-naturalist. I take a kind of which is a view that I held for a bit, and then I got rid of it because of some responses I got to an argument from some people that I really respect. So I changed my view based on those responses. But then eventually, after a bunch of more reading and stuff like that, I did find that while they were correct that the argument I had given was wrong, right? There are other arguments that I don't think have the same problem. And I was having that conversation today, and while those people who I do neo-Aristotelian ethical naturalism, Um, I know it's a mouthful. Neo Aristotelian naturalism. Basically, I just take the view that Rosalind Hursthouse gives in her book on virtue ethics. I think that book is fucking amazing. I've kind of been obsessed with ethics and specifically meta ethics for a while now. Well, when I say a while, I mean like a couple months. And I think that Rosalind Hurshouse's view is the one that I like it more than any other view. I think that it has explanatory power that better than any other view that I'm aware of. I think it also just matches reality. Like there's this aspect of her view that seems kind of fuzzy around the edges in a way that I think that people who are into like deontology and utilitarianism probably wouldn't like. But I think that reality itself is fuzzy. So I think having a moral view that has fuzz around the edges is a feature, not a bug. I think that just makes it more likely that it's an accurate reflection of reality. And then, yeah, I just think that, and it also, Rosalind Hursthouse. So actually, Rosalind Hursthouse, and the name of the book is On Virtue Ethics. Now, in fact, in allegedly Ian's Discord, they are doing a book club about that book. I actually read that book because of their book club. Now they're doing like a chapter every couple weeks or whatever. But as soon as I started the book, I just couldn't put it down and I slammed through the whole thing. Fantastic book. But yeah, currently don't have anybody requesting. I don't know, like we're pretty early in the stream. Well, I guess we're an hour into the stream. Maybe I give a reset. I don't know. But maybe we can have a good conversation. Just hoping to talk to people who are 18 plus and actually have some kind of argument or evidence for God. Hi, Aristides. How old are you?
17.
Oh, okay. Well, you should not have requested, and please leave. Poopman Jones gets it. Okay. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if we can get some folks in here that actually want to have the conversation. Doesn't seem like many people actually want to talk today. That's unfortunate. I don't know if we just give it a reset. Well, I say 18 plus like over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, right? I say that like constantly. Like basically between every guest, I say, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that provide rational justification to believe in a God. Yeah, it's TikTok terms of service. In what settings? I don't know what you're talking about, Life's a Glitch. But yeah, currently nobody requested. I don't know. Do we give it a reset? Yeah, I mean, children cannot be on lives. And to be honest with you, even if they could, I don't want to talk to children. That would be fucking weird. If you want to run a live and do the prompt differently, by all means. All right, we're going to reset the live and best argument or evidence to provide rational justification. I don't know. Talking to underage people without their parents around as a 40-year-old man, yeah, that's pretty fucking weird. It's really fucking weird. In my opinion, men my age should not be talking to underage people without, their parents, guardian around. Like, no thanks. Or, like, I guess if you're like a teacher or something, but that's a different situation. But anyway, I'm going to reset the live. I'll be right back. The things people want to talk about on TikTok sometimes, it's fucking weird. And people get weird about, like, not wanting to talk to children. Like, how weird would it be if I wanted to talk to children? Okay. Let's see if we can get restarted here. All right. Looks like TikTok's going. And yeah, Ben, the crash outs are real. There's nothing that the theists, nothing that scares a theist like having to support their position. Hey, thanks for coming back, folks. Appreciate it. But hopefully we'll actually have some conversations. That would be fantastic. Debates with parents? I don't know. I'm assuming a lot of people who come up are parents. Oh, shit. Hey, thanks, Nobody on Fire. But yeah. No, CT, you are not the first back. In fact, you're way late. I'm a little bit offended. Hey, thanks, Poopman Jones. That was awesome. Melon juice. That was cool as hell. Exactly, Bames. If I ever had kids, I would have to go away because they don't have parents there with them for me to talk to them. Well, Daniel, then the parent would be the guest, and I would just be talking to them. Hey, thanks, Casey. That's awesome. Well, if you are 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God, feel free to request. The guest box is open, and I would be happy to chat. Got that. And yeah, hopefully we can have some better conversations in the second hour of the stream. Hey, good to see you too, Moon.
Hello.
Hi, username. How old are you?
21.
And what God do you believe in?
The Christian God.
Cool. What would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
Okay. I'm just curious, how does it feel being fat and unhealthy? And poor at the same time. That's like the trio
Yeah.
of like shit gone wrong, right?
Well, I mean, it makes it so obvious that no good God exists, right? Because if there was a good God, he wouldn't make me so fat, ugly, poor, and worthless, right?
No, that probably means that you've done some things to make him unhappy, right? I mean,
oh,
wouldn't
okay.
that
So
be a
God is
logical
vindictive, is what
statement?
you're saying, and you think that that's a good being?
Well, I think God gives justice. You know,
Oh,
if you're
it's
gonna
justice.
cut your-
Okay, cool.
I mean, think
Cool.
like you're a
So, do you
human
have any
being, right?
argument or evidence for God, or no?
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? Like if you won this.
Okay. All right. So yeah, if you are 18 plus and actually have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God, feel free to request up. Thank you for the support. Nobody on Fire, Poopman Jones, KC, Zell. Appreciate you all very much. Thank you. But yeah, we'll hopefully have an actual debate. That would be fun, huh? Okay. Fair enough. Oh, I didn't even spell it right. All right. Causes will have to be able to be different for fine tuning to work. Yeah, I eat bunnies. Yes, they do. Because otherwise, it's not unlikely. And that's the whole thing with the fine tuning argument is that it's an unlikeliness premise and a likelihood, a likely premise. And if you don't have both of those, you don't have the argument. But yeah, we'll see if we can have a good convo here. Once again, the rules here are that you have to be 18 plus, and you have to actually have some kind of argument or evidence for God. I am reading Wittgenstein. Hi, Chubbs.
Hey,
How
I
old
just
are you?
wanted to say, I'm doing good. I just wanted to say,
Okay, fair enough. Okay. You have to think something exists to not believe in it? That doesn't make any sense. That makes zero sense. Yeah, that's true, Bames. It is the theists who are the ones that throw the insults around and stuff. They believe in this compassionate religion that's supposed to make them act well, and then, they're just assholes.
Yo.
Hi, Pawn. How old are you?
25.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
Christian God.
Okay, and what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
Cause and effect.
How does that provide justification to believe in God?
Because without cause, there's no effect. In the beginning, when everything was created, it had to be outside of space, time.
Why should we think that things were
and matter.
created?
You said what?
You're saying that the universe was created. Why should we think the universe was created?
I mean, it's just like everything that we experience in nature in existence.
The question was,
itself,
why should we
every-
think the universe was
Are you
created?
gonna let me talk, you fucking bitch?
Yeah,
Let me
exactly. That's the best you've got, isn't
Let me
it?
talk.
Because you
Let me
can't
finish.
actually engage on the substance, so you have to
Well,
say
you
bullshit.
keep
You have
cutting
to
me off,
say
you fat
insults.
fuck.
Yeah, of course I'm going to cut you off when you're not responding to the substance. If you
All
try
right,
to
well,
run
listen,
away
fat.
from the
Let me
substance by
finish
talking
my-
about
let me
something else,
finish my
then of
thought,
course
you
I'm going to
fat
cut.
fucking
No, I'm
bitch.
not going to let you finish your derailing thought.
Let me
You're
finish,
either
you
going to
fat
directly
fucker.
address the
You
substance,
bald fat
or I'm
fuck.
going to keep cutting you off. So,
Let me
why
talk,
should
you
we think that
bald
the
fat
universe was
fucker.
created? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course I get restrictions. Uh, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, just children. Obviously, if those people had nothing but insults, if those people had something of substance to say, they would just give the substance. I'm not going to let them talk. No. If they want to actually talk about the substance, then they can talk about the substance. If they're going to talk about anything else, I'm going to bring them back to the substance, right? All right, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God.
Boy, you built like Queso with the receding fucking hairline.
Okay. Yeah, people. Wow. Oh, what a great insult.
You're just so handsome.
Okay, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God.
Digger.
Yeah, that's about what I would expect. Once again, Christians showing how loving they are. There we go. All right. Oh, yeah, it's fine. Okay. Again, if you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, Mysterious. How old are you? Hello. Going once? Going twice? Fair enough. Can I? What are the odds, do you think? Probably not good. All right, fair enough. Once again, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are an adult and you actually have some kind of argument or evidence for God. Is Anthony going to join? Bueller? Yellow. All right, fair enough. Yeah, again, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Is just nobody going to connect? All right. We'll try again. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining the guest queue, make sure that you're an adult and actually have some kind of argument or evidence for God. We'll see if anybody's got anything. Country boy, how old are you?
So, I'm 44.
And what God do you believe in?
I don't want to bring that up.
Okay, well then I'm not going to talk to you. So this is your opportunity to be able to continue the conversation. What God do you believe in?
I believe in Jesus.
Okay, and what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in God?
I would say that we don't know everything. You don't know everything. There's things that we don't know. There's mysteries in life that we don't know. And so you can't be so definitive in thinking that you know if there's a God or not, because there's things like
this is irrelevant right now. So I'm not claiming omnipotence. I'm not saying anyone else needs to be omnipotent. But obviously we can know some things. For example, I know that 1 + 1 = 2, and that doesn't require me to know every other fact in reality to be confident in that. So clearly there are some things that we can know. So what would you say is the argument or evidence that would give us the reason to believe in God?
That is so simple.
Okay,
God
so I'm
is
going to
so
ask
much more
I'm
than
going to ask one more time.
1.1.
If you don't respond with an actual argument or some kind of evidence, I'm just going to move on. What's the argument or evidence that would give us reason to believe in God?
The argument and the evidence that gives us to believe in God is that you cannot deny what you don't understand, and you don't understand.
Okay. Well, hopefully somebody will actually have a serious point or some kind of argument. Once again, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence for God. Oh, apparently they're not joining. Okay, fair enough. Maybe the alien will join. No? Bueller. Okay. Once again, if you're in the guest queue, make sure that you're an adult and you have some kind of argument or evidence for God. God changed my life. How old are you?
18.
Okay, well, I mean, maybe you will be in 4 or 5 years. Hi, Lady Low. How old are you?
Oh, I am 62.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
Well, I believe in God, Jehovah, and Jesus Christ as his son.
Okay.
And
what would you say is the best
you know,
argument or evidence to believe in God?
yeah, an experience. Do experiences count?
No. What we would need in order for us to put any stock into experiences, we would need some kind of tool that we can use to determine who's properly interpreting their experiences and who's not. Do you have a tool like that?
Unfortunately, no, I don't.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I don't think that there's any way that experience could give us reason to believe in anything supernatural. So do you have anything other than experience?
Yeah. So scientifically, actually, science is coming out that, from things that I've seen, that there has to be a creator, and whether
What's the scientific
it's
support for that position?
Let's see. Well, let's see. When Elon Musk, he went and
Just tell me the scientific support for the position that there must be a creator.
When you say support, do you mean to cite it?
Yes. Tell me the actual
Okay.
science, like the scientific paper, the name of the scientist that figured this out, and where I can read about it, something like that.
Oh, okay. I apologize then. I'll pass, but I can find that out and I could come back later. Now, I think that's where people may be becoming a little bit confused if you're really wanting us to go ahead and cite it, because it's
Well, I'm asking you to
difficult,
provide the argument or evidence. Just saying that an argument or some evidence exists isn't providing an argument or evidence. I'm sorry that that's confusing to you. If it's confusing to others also, then I don't know what to tell you. But do you have any kind of argument or evidence that would provide a reason to believe in God?
Other than the Bible and my faith, no, because I live by faith.
Okay, well, faith. Do you agree that some people believe things on faith that are wrong?
Yeah, I feel like people can be led astray by their faith.
Okay,
Absolutely.
fantastic. So if faith can lead you to true conclusions and to false conclusions, why would we rely on it?
Well, I believe by what it produces,
Well, here's
because
my
you
question,
can.
Lady Low. Lady Low, let's say that you're
Mhm,
out in the middle of the woods and you really need to get back to town, and there are only two paths you can take. One of the paths definitely gets you to the town. You know that there's like some difficult terrain that you'll have to go through, but it definitely
Right.
100% is reliably going to get you to town. There's another path that someone told you is actually a really easy path to walk, but you have no idea whether it gets you to town, is going to lead you into a trap, or some other thing. Which path would you want to take?
The well-lit path, the path that's going to get me where I'm going,
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly. 100%. You want the path that is
Mhm,
reliably going to take you to the destination that you want, right?
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm saying about what we believe. We should only be using paths to belief that are reliably going to lead us to true beliefs. If we have a path to belief like faith that sometimes leads people to true beliefs and sometimes leads people to false beliefs, no one should ever take that path unless they don't care about their beliefs being true. If you care at all about your beliefs being true, then just like you would want to take the path that really brings you into town, then you should be using the tool that determines what beliefs are true and which beliefs are false. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. But just
Okay,
like
so
you
with
have
that
these
in
two
mind,
paths,
is there any reliable pathway to get to the truth of God's existence?
absolutely.
Okay, what is that
It
reliable pathway to get to the truth of God's existence?
to love God with all our hearts, with all our minds, and with all our
No, why should
souls,
we think that he exists in the first place?
because we can see Him all around us.
That's just the claim. Why should we think that God exists?
I mean, I can feel Him. I can see Him. It's a personal thing.
That's the
You
claim.
know,
So I'm gonna.
honest,
All right. It doesn't sound
it's
like we're gonna
really
make any
personal.
progress. So I'm just gonna go ahead and move on. I agree that it's personal to you, and that's exactly why nobody should believe it, including you. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that will provide justification to believe in a God. Okay, maybe this person's not going to connect either. Do. Nothing? No? Oh, fair enough. All right. If you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, please be an adult and actually have some argument or evidence for God. Hi, sister. How old are you?
19.
You don't sound like anybody's sister, but I could be wrong. What God do you believe in?
I believe in the Holy Spirit. Yeah.
So you're a Christian?
Let me ask you this. Of course.
Okay, and what's the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
For one, without God, you wouldn't even be on live right now. Without
Why
him
should I believe
creating
that?
all of this.
Why should I believe that he created anything?
If you read the Bible, he literally
Why should I believe
tells
what the
you
Bible
how he
says?
created. It's written hand by God. There's different versions, but all of them are technically written by God. It tells you how he created.
Why should I believe that the
he
Bible
can
was written by
really
God?
flood the earth
Why
with
should I
water.
believe the Bible was written by God?
Let me ask you this.
So you said that
How
I asked you why I should think God exists, and you said because he created everything. I asked why I should think he created everything, and you said because of the Bible. I asked why I should believe in the Bible, and you said because it's written by God. And now I'm asking why I should believe the Bible is written by God, because it sounds like we're just going in a circle.
God is our spirit.
Do you want me to just talk
is
to
a
your
spirit.
coach instead of you?
God is a spirit.
Do you want me to just talk to your coach? Sounds like they maybe have better arguments than you.
All right, so God is a spirit.
How old are you?
I'm 34.
Okay. Well, why should I think that God exists at all?
First, God came here to save humanity.
Okay, that just assumes that God exists. What I'm asking is why I should think God exists in the first place.
Because you're breathing right now. You wouldn't be on live like you said. You're
Okay, so
breathing.
why should I think that God is responsible for my breathing?
Because God lives in us.
Okay, but that again just assumes that God exists. I'm asking you, why should I believe God exists? Obviously, I can't believe that he's inside of me or anybody else. I can't believe that he created anything. I can't believe any of these things about God unless I actually think that he exists. Why should I think that God exists?
Okay, God is three persons.
Okay,
There's
this is
God
just
the
more.
Father who sits in
So this is
heaven.
just more of
There's
the claim
God
again.
in-
I don't know if
God
maybe
the-
you're
the
Courtney or if you're
Son.
Courtney's sister or who you are, but I need you to focus here. I'm not asking you to tell me the things you believe about God. I'm asking you to tell me the reason to think God exists at all. So this is the last time I'm asking,
breathing.
what is one reason to think that God exists?
You're breathing.
Okay, well, we already went through that and you couldn't substantiate the claim, so I'm not going to continue going in that circle. All right. If you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Mikey, so awesome to see you back. Haven't seen you in a bit. Super stoked to see you back. Thank you. I think it's so funny, like some of the things people say. Unbelievable. All right. Maybe this person who couldn't connect before will connect this time. Hi, Fleur. How old are you? Nothing? Yeah, that's about what I figured. We're going on a scavenger hunt here, guys. You're going to have to bear with me for a moment. Well, it's going to take a bit. I think it's going to take a bit. Okay. Found him. Okay. All right. Once again, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would justify belief in a God. What I was looking for was that bigot that just came up and yelled curses so that I could block them. And I found him. Yay. Hi, Vinny. How old are you?
32.
Okay. And what God do you believe in?
Well, I believe in the primordial force outside this universe, but I'm gonna use the name El because that's what God stands for in like Hebrew.
Okay, so you're a Christian or you're Jewish or?
No, I'm past religion. I believe all the religions are controlled by Satan.
Okay, so you're a Christian. And what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
Only reason why I let you say I'm Christian because the
I don't really give a
suffix
fuck. I don't really give a fuck. Then you want to pretend not to be Christian. Obviously, you're Christian, or you wouldn't be talking about El and Satan. That's just that. Those are Christian. Stop, Vinny. Stop. Those are Christian beliefs.
You're right.
You obviously believe in Christ. You're a Christian. Okay. So what's the
Let's go,
argument or
let's go.
evidence that God exists?
All right, well, science and mathematics proves it.
Okay. I can just say that science and mathematics prove that there's no God, and now we're on the same footing. Do you have anything of substance?
All right, so what about the Big Bang Theory?
Yeah, that doesn't tell us anything other than the universe expanded. Well, that doesn't say anything about how it was, whether it was created, how it was created, or if there's a God.
What force made that first ring that made the universe create outside the universe?
You're assuming that the universe
force
was
was
created. Why should we believe the universe was created?
So how is it here if it was never created?
So why should we think the universe was created?
Why is it here? You live in the universe, right?
I'm asking you to support your claim that the universe was created. Why should we think the universe was created?
because everything is made up out of matter and
Okay, so
atoms.
this is
And the
just
first,
why are things being made out of matter? Why does that give us a reason to think the universe was created?
so if the universe can go down to the lowest form of an atom, which is matter and antimatter, and that's where you can get it from. What created matter and antimatter then?
Why should we think those things were created at all?
Because you know what it is, right? You know 2 + 2 = 4, right?
It doesn't give me any reason to believe in a creator. So I've asked you this so many times, and you still haven't even attempted to answer the question. So this is the
You
last
just a
time I'm
fake
asking.
atheist,
What is the
agnostic,
reason to
fake
think that the
atheist.
universe was created?
You just a fake atheist. Fuck out of here.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're a fake Christian who, like, what do you want me to do? It's not my fault. I don't know why you're mad at me because you can't provide support for your position. Okay. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and that you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, Colin. How old are you?
I'm 19.
And what God do you believe in?
Jesus Christ.
Okay. And what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
All right, I just want to start here. Do you believe the fact that Jesus Christ was a real person and lived on this
So
earth?
we're not doing 20 questions. I'm asking for the argument or evidence.
I know this is part of my argument, though.
No, an argument does not have questions in it. So what's the argument or evidence that God exists?
Jesus Christ was the most well-documented person in human history.
Yeah, what's the support for that claim?
There's over 30 documents of him being alive.
Over
and he wrote
30?
one-
Yeah, name one of the documents that's from his lifetime.
The Bible was written during his lifetime.
Oh, really?
Parts of it.
Which book of the Bible was written during Jesus' lifetime?
I mean,
If you think it's a
I
bunch of them, just
promise
name one of
you,
them.
Fuck.
I'll give you the cheat code just so you know.
Yeah.
The answer is none. But you can keep
You're telling
pretending
me-
to think about it.
All right. Regardless of the fact.
Okay,
there's
so you are
all
now
the- all the
abandoning that
Gospels are
bullshit
written
claim that you made
recount
that you
that
can't
they're-
support, right?
they're recounts of his
So
life.
so
They're
what are
of his life.
yeah, so what are the contemporary accounts of Jesus' life? Accounts from his lifetime.
I mean, I know you got a computer there. You can look it up.
Oh,
I
a
promise
computer.
you.
Oh, I should look it up for you. Oh, okay. So you want me to make your argument for you?
But you know my argument.
But,
is
but
works.
yes, I know that your argument is bullshit. Yes, I do
All right,
know
okay,
that.
Why is there not a God?
So
What's
okay.
What's your argument?
Fantastic. So well, obviously God could not have, if God exists, he caused the universe. God could not have caused the universe because he's outside space and time and all causes are inside space and time.
Because he's
So that means
almighty,
God
he's
doesn't
above
exist.
space and time. He's above space and time.
Right, but causation can only happen inside space and time. And if God's outside space and time, he can't be a cause. But if he can't be a cause, he couldn't have created the universe, which means that he doesn't exist.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really follow on that.
Okay, so if God exists, he created the universe, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And if he created the universe,
Well,
he's
what
outside
created the
space and
universe
time,
if
right?
There was nothing before the universe.
So if he created the universe, that means he's outside space and time, right?
Correct.
Okay. And causation only happens inside space and time, right? When things have spatial and temporal relationships to each other?
Well, how does that happen only in space and time if there's a creator above space and time?
No, you're not
That's where
listening
you
to me.
kinda
So
lose it. No,
causation,
I mean, I promise you, I'm listening.
do you understand what causation is?
What's your definition of it? How are you like? I mean, I sure, but break it down for me.
So causation is a spatio-temporal relationship between, two events, two objects, whatever.
Sure,
So like,
yeah.
for example, if if I'm playing pool and I break, I hit the cue ball and it hits the triangle of balls and spreads them all over the table, that's because there was a spatial and temporal relationship between the cue balls and the rest of the balls that it hit. That's what causation is. It's a spatial and temporal relationship between multiple objects or events. Now, if God is outside space and time, he cannot stand in spatial or temporal relationships to anything. So if he can't be in a spatial or temporal relationship with anything and causes our spatial and temporal relationships, that means God cannot be a cause of anything. But if he can't cause anything, that means he can't create anything. If he can't create anything, he can't create the universe. But if he exists, he did create the universe. Therefore, he does not exist.
Everything that begins to exist has a cause. The
Why
universe
should
began to exist.
why should we think the
And
universe
therefore,
began
the
to
universe
exist?
Must, it must have an uncaused timeless
Why
and
should we think
powerful
that the
first
universe
cause.
began to exist?
I mean, what do you mean? I mean,
Your claim is that the universe began to exist. That's an important part of the argument that you
Correct,
just
yeah.
gave. What is the support for the claim that the universe began to exist?
I mean, I don't know. Modern science shows space
Nope.
time and specific points such as the Big Bang. I mean, the
What's
Big
the
Bang
evidence that the Big
is-
Bang talks about the beginning of the universe? Because I'll give you another cheat code here. It
I feel
doesn't.
like that's just basic knowledge.
Ah,
Everyone
no,
says
it's not.
the
And that's
Big
why I
Bang
put this survey up
created
on the
the
screen.
universe.
That's why I
What was
put
there before the Big Bang.
Yeah, that's why I put this survey up on the screen. This was asked of professional physicists and cosmologists. There were like 1,700 of them that responded. And you see that big scary green bar there that's way bigger than the rest because it's a vast majority of the respondents. Yeah, that's them saying that the Big Bang is a theory that says the universe evolves from a hot, dense state that says nothing about whether there was an absolute beginning of time or not. So the current scientific understanding of the Big Bang is that it has nothing to do with whether there was a beginning. So what's the reason that we should think the universe had a beginning?
Again, going back to causation, God had a cause, and he caused the universe. He created the universe.
And we already discussed how
the
that's not possible, and you refused to respond, and I let you pivot to a different argument, and now you're trying to pivot back to
It's
the
not the
argument
same
that you
question.
refused to respond to.
I got a question for you.
Okay, no, what you have to
Have
do
you-
now, because of this, double pivot that you just pulled, now you have to give an account of causation that doesn't include space or time.
Dude, what?
How can something cause something else if there's no space or time?
Because you're not understanding. God is an almighty power. He's
How can
above
something
everything. He
cause something
created
else if
space
there's
and
no
time.
space and time?
He created space and time.
Yep, that's the claim. I'm going to ask you one last time. If you can't give an answer that is responsive to the question, I'm just going to move on. How is it possible for a cause to be outside space and time?
I mean, my answer is that he is an almighty power, and he is.
Okay. There's this philosopher, Felipe Leon, who has an amazing quote that I really like. I'm probably going to butcher it, but it's something like the idea that a sufficiently powerful creator could bring the universe into existence from nothing is on epistemic par with the idea that an all-powerful being could throw up a lunch from an empty stomach. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And then they'll say something can't come from nothing. Like, unbelievable. All right, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Oh, shit. Banana Mom, thank you so much for all the support. Holy hell. Thank you sincerely. Like, fuck. Genuinely, thank you so much. Also, I mean, Silence Moon, Blue Tiger Gum, Jesus, Cindy, thank you so much for the support. You're spoiling me. Thank you. Thank you, SciTech Nature, Maya, Joe Clark, Nick. Thank you so much, everybody, for the support. I did say Jesus. I say that a lot, right? I say things like, oh my God, and Jesus Christ. Yeah, I say stuff like that all the time. I was born and raised in America, so yeah, I'd say that kind of shit a lot. Thank you, Trucker Boy and Ian, and thank you so much, Poopman Jones. Also, Jason Debateman, love it. Thank you so much. All right, yeah. Why would I say that if I don't believe in him? I don't know. It's the same reason I say fuck, even though there isn't any fucking happening, right? It's the same reason I say shit, even though nobody's shitting, right? I mean, it's just a, oh my Eunice, yeah, exactly, Mikey. Unicorn shit. All right, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure you're an adult. You actually have some kind of argument or evidence for God. God fucking damn it, indeed.
Over there.
Hi, Alicia. How old are you?
I'm 29.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
I actually believe in the universe. I don't believe
Okay,
in.
well, I believe in the universe too, so what do we disagree on?
Well, I heard a couple things from other people saying that.
Well, I don't really care what
the
you heard
God-
from other people. Just answer my question, please.
You know what? You don't have to be a fucking dick about it. You know that, right? People are actually trying to say something.
I can act however the fuck I want. If you don't want to be here, I'm not keeping you here. So what I'm trying to do is have a debate about whether or not God exists. And so what I'm trying to nail down is whether or not you actually believe in something that would fit with any meaningful definition of the word God. And it doesn't sound like you do. It sounds like you just are maybe like a pantheist or something like that, which when I talk about God, I'm talking about a personal ultimate foundation to reality. Do you believe in anything like that?
Well, I believe that people try to believe in something that they can't.
Okay, fair
think
enough.
of.
Well, I appreciate your time and I hope you have a good one. If you're in the guest queue or I'm thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, Mind, how old are you?
I'm 37.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
I don't think I believe in a specific God. I don't know. I just don't discount it. I think there's an argument for it.
But do you think that there's like an immaterial mind that created and sustains the universe?
I don't know. But I just think there's an argument for it. That's why I wanted to bring it.
There's what?
Argument for it. I don't have a solid personal belief. I just think there's an argument to not discount it.
Well, I'm not interested in that. I'm just saying, is there a reason to believe? And you just saying like, oh, I don't know, it could be possible. That's just not really an interesting conversation. So if you don't have anything other than that, I'm just going to move to the next person.
You asked me what I believe. Right? I do have an argument. I think it's
okay. Again, I'm just looking to talk to people who do believe in a God. I'm not looking to do like devil's advocate. I'm not looking to LARP. I'm not looking to do any of that. If you don't actually believe in a God, that's fine. But then just don't request. Hey, thanks for the support, Mind. I mean, you definitely didn't have to do that. Thank you, Chuck Dog, as well. Appreciate it. I add a Thomist up here pretty regularly. Okay, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, please be an adult and please actually have some kind of argument or evidence for God. And it's important that you actually believe in a God. That is part of it. If I had a deck of cards for you, I would give you an argument for magic. Hi, Angelo. How old are you?
I am 34.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
I believe in God, Jesus, Holy Spirit.
And what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide rational justification to believe in a God?
Well, because God, I experienced him in my life.
And how do you know that you properly interpreted your experiences?
Miracles happen. What was that?
How do you know that you properly interpreted your experiences?
What do you mean? Properly interpreted?
Yeah, so lots of people claim to have had experiences in their lives that validate other religions that you think are wrong. So obviously, if we just believed everyone who says they had a personal experience, we would have to believe in a whole bunch of contradictory things. I don't think we should believe in contradictions. So clearly, just taking someone's word on their personal experience, even just trusting our own interpretation of our personal experience, is not sufficient justification for any position. So what I'm asking is whether you actually have any justification for your position, or if you just are appealing to something that couldn't possibly provide a reason to believe in it.
Well, everything that you believe in requires faith, even if you don't.
No, that's not true. So do you have any argument or evidence for God or no?
Yeah, in the beginning, God.
Okay, that's the claim. What's the argument?
There's no claim. Everything that you believe in you have to have faith in everything.
And we're not talking about faith. We're talking about whether there's a reason to believe in God. So this is the last time I'm asking you: is there any reason to believe in a God?
You are saved by faith. Okay. Everything.
Fair enough. I agree that you don't have a reason to believe in a God. I'm glad you do too. One more time, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence for God. Mind versus environment, no. Okay, look, I mean, if you want to support, great, thank you. I do appreciate it, sincerely. But I'm not, like, bringing people up to yap because they support. Like, that's just not a thing that we do here. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, again, appreciate it, sincerely, I do. I really do. But I'm not going to bring you up because you're supporting. Either you believe in a God, in which case we can have a debate about whether or not there's reason to believe in a God, or just don't request. It's that simple. I'm telling you from the beginning, like, and this goes for everybody else too, do not think that sending support is going to make me bring you up and let you yap. It's just not going to happen. If that means that I lose out on support, then by all means. Hi, Lex. How old are you?
Hi, I'm 22.
Cool. And what God do you believe in?
I believe in the universe in a sense, or like eternity.
Okay, well, I believe in the
being-
universe. What do we disagree about?
I think I heard you say that you believe there's no beginning, in a sense, or we can't really prove the
Okay,
beginning.
but do you believe in like an immaterial mind that created and sustains the universe, or do you just believe in the universe itself?
That sustains the universe. Yeah, I believe that like the cells that we've originated
No, that's not
from
that.
were
Hold on. Do you believe in an immaterial mind that created and sustains the universe?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're a theist. What would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in that God?
I feel like if we look at what would be the beginning of Earth, the first organisms were cells, and cells are self-sustaining.
Hold on. You understand that the Earth came into existence long before the first life, right?
Yeah, and even the Earth is self-sustaining. It's the only
No, that's
system
not. No, the Earth is not self-sustaining.
It is.
No, I mean that's just false.
Yeah,
Obviously, the
it has
Earth.
its own cycles.
Well, I mean, it has
sustains
cycles, but it gets enormous amounts of energy from the sun that fuel the processes that happen on the Earth. The Earth is not self-sustaining. You take the sun
Well,
away,
yes, our
all
solar
that stops.
system.
So here's the thing, though. These things are very disconnected. So I need you to pick one thing that can get us to God and just focus on that one thing. Talking about the creation of the solar system, the creation of the planet, the beginning of life, all these disparate things are not, we can't unify those into one argument. Just give me one argument that would provide a reason to believe in a God.
I feel like looking for one argument kind of disrupts.
Well, we can only talk about one argument at a
understanding.
time. If you think that there's a cumulative case and you've got a bunch of good arguments that all provide a little bit of evidence each, that's fine. But we can only talk about one at a time. So what's the first
Okay,
one
well,
you'd like to
I think we
discuss?
can look at the odds of us being here as something to signify a god. The fact that we're in a solar system. And
How did you determine the
only-
odds of us being here?
Well, they're like 1 in 7.
No, I didn't ask what the odds are. I asked how you determined the odds.
You consider a man's sperm count, as many eggs as a woman has.
What are the
chances of
odds? No,
each sperm getting
no,
to each
no.
egg.
Stop.
You want me to do the math for you?
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the odds of life existing on this planet. How did you determine the odds of life existing on this planet?
I look at the other planets. I don't know. There's no life there that we know of.
Really? How many planets have we gone to and examined for life?
Well, what kind of life?
How many planets
What are
have
you
we
talking
gone to examine for life?
I know we've been, where we say we've been to Mars. We've
Uh-huh.
been to the
Okay.
moon.
So we've been to 2 planets, Earth and Mars. And humans
We've
haven't been to
able
Mars.
look at the other planets
Hold
and
on,
understand
calm
the
down.
conditions
Calm
or-
down. Calm down.
I'm calm.
Okay, so stop talking over me then. I'm trying to explain the issues with what you're saying here. So you're saying that we've been to, maybe we have information about 2 planets, and even if I grant you the rest of the solar system, that's like 8 planets. Okay, so maybe we have information about 8 planets and a few moons. How many planets do you think there are in the universe?
Too many for me to fathom.
Yeah, so number of planets in the universe. Let's see what Google has to say. 200 sexillion, so 2 times 10 to the 23rd power planets in the observable universe, and we have no idea if there's more universe outside the observable universe where there could be an even larger number of additional planets. So if we have a tiny bit of information about 8 planets out of hundreds of sexillion planets, it sounds like we have an extremely small sample size and wouldn't really be able to determine from that what the odds are of life existing on any given planet. Don't you think?
No, because we can only look at us existing as our own planet.
So how did you determine the odds of life existing on all the sexillions of planets that we haven't examined?
Well, just from our understanding.
How
we're
did
the
you
only
determine,
beings-
what was the actual process that you employed to determine the odds of life existing on those planets?
I don't have access to the planets.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't have a way to determine whether life could exist on those planets because you don't even know
I feel
what
like if
other ways life
life
could
did
exist. So you don't have a way to determine that life is unlikely. So do you have anything of substance? Do you have anything you can support instead of just making claims?
You know what, dude? I don't think I do for you. I don't think what I can
All
say
right,
will
fair enough.
satisfy
I
you.
agree. I agree with you. I don't think you have anything either. Okay. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and that you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, Ravenous.
Nigger, nigger, nigger,
Yeah,
nigger,
that's
nigger.
about what I would expect. It's about the best that they've got. So annoying. All right, hold on. Okay. Cool. All right. Another idiot to block. Oh, was that not the right person? Oh, maybe I blocked the wrong person. Damn, that's really annoying. I can't tell. Fuck. Well, that's unfortunate. All right, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence for God. Dithered, how old are you?
Nigger.
Yeah. Teacup yourself. Hi, Ivan, how old are you?
Oh, I'm 58.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
Pretty much I believe in God in the sense that, God is higher dimensional.
Yeah. Do you believe in like the Christian God or Muslim God or Jewish God?
I actually believe more in the science sense of God.
Well, there is no science sense of God. So just tell me what do you believe in like a personal ultimate foundation to reality?
Christian. Yeah, I guess Christian.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we found the right person. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I need to fix it. How do I get back to this? Okay. All right, sorry. Just was fixing that. Okay, anyway. So you believe in the Christian God. What would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide rational justification to believe in a God?
Because we really can't disprove higher dimensional dimension.
Hold on. I'm not asking like what are things that we can't disprove. I'm asking what's a reason to believe in a God? Like if I say we can't disprove higher dimensions, therefore there's no God, that wouldn't really be an argument for no God, would it?
True.
Right. And so you just saying, here's a thing that we can't disprove, even if you're correct about that, that doesn't mean that there's a God. So what's the reason to believe in a God?
Wow. This is harder than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, just saying we can't prove X is wrong doesn't mean we should believe in Y. What we need is positive evidence for Y. AKA
like
God.
An actual thing that happened.
Oh, I don't know if it would be like a thing that happened or philosophical argument, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Oh man, that's I really didn't think that. I mean, you got me there, like.
Okay. Well,
because I'm thinking like, there's got to be, and then you also did bring up the argument that there's no proof that the universe wasn't always here, which is hard for any human to even understand that. So
yeah, there's no reason for us to think that the universe had a cause, as far as I can tell. And even if it had a cause, there would be no reason for us to think that that was a creation event, that had any intention behind it. So we would need some reason to believe in that.
But what if, like, okay, so if there's a belief in higher dimensions in this universe, in this space, and then in this time, then why can't what created existence be?
Well, why should we think that existence was created?
Shit.
You're just saying that if we assume this thing exists and then we call that God, then there's a God. Well, I guess, yeah, that would be correct. If I call this water bottle God, then I guess God exists. But we're not just talking about whether or not a water bottle exists. We're talking about whether or not there's actual reason to believe in a God, as a God.
Yeah, man, I can't. Yeah, you just shot me down. Like, cause like, I'm like, as you're saying it, I'm thinking like, yeah, damn, that's so true.
Well, I appreciate the honesty, and it sounds like maybe this is just like not something you've had pushback on before, and that's understandable, right?
Yeah,
So
I've never had pushback.
yeah, no, and that's totally understandable, right? I think that we live in a culture where the predominant idea is that obviously a god exists, and it's just a matter of picking which one. And then maybe the pushback somebody might get is like, if you live in an area where there are a lot of Muslims, they might think that you're weird for believing in Christianity, or vice versa. If you live in an area with a lot of Christians, the person who believes in Islam might be looked at as being a little bit weird, but everybody just assumes that there must be a god. So when you say you believe in a god, you don't really get a lot of pushback. But the thing is, as far as I can tell, we don't actually have a reason to believe in God. And now you've got a few years on me, so I'm certainly not going to claim to have all the knowledge or experience that you have, but I have spent the last 25 years thinking very, very seriously about this ever since I first encountered questions about my belief in God when I was 15. And, I just haven't, in the last 25 years, all the honest searching that I've done, the more honest I am about it, that I actually want to find the truth, the harder it becomes to think that could even be a reason to believe in a God. Now, that doesn't mean that I couldn't be shown to be wrong in the future. Like, if somebody gives me a reason to believe in God, obviously I'll believe in a God. But as far as I can tell right now, from an honest appraisal of the evidence that has been presented, I can't see a reason to believe in one.
Could God just be evolution as a process?
It could be the water bottle. Like then if we're just naming natural processes or natural objects or events and saying those are God, then we've completely removed all the meaning from the word God, and we should just remove it from our language as well, and we can just talk about those processes as the processes or events or objects or whatever that they are.
Yeah, true.
Okay. Well, hey, these are maybe questions that you haven't thought about before. So what I'll encourage you to do is genuinely think about them. I don't think that this is going to make you an atheist or anything, but what I'd ask is if you do genuinely think about it, and with some honest, thought and introspection, if you, or maybe some research as well, if you come to some kind of argument that you think does provide a reason to believe in God, I'd be very happy to have you come back and convince me that I'm wrong. Okay.
I thank you very much. This has been very enlightening.
Thank you so much for actually having a good faith conversation with me, Ivan. I sincerely appreciate it, and I wish you nothing but the best, man.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right, you too.
W for Ivan. Those are the kind of people that I want to talk to, and the next time he comes back, if he decides to come back another time, I guarantee you he's going to have something serious that's going to be worth engaging with, right? That's what's going to happen. You mark my words. If Ivan does decide to come back sometime in the future, he's going to have something serious. And I'm so looking forward to that day. Turn around at the top of the hour. You are 100% right, 3 pips. Okay, so again, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are 18 plus and that you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Quickly, before I bring up the next person, I just want to say thank you so much to the people supporting. Thank you, Discordant Rhyme, to Laren, Atheist Cat, thank you, Chuck Dog. Really, really appreciate all the support, everybody. Honestly, it's just so so flattering and humbling that you guys are supporting so much. All the people who are watching, commenting, liking, sharing, sending gifts, whatever. I sincerely, sincerely appreciate it so much. That's 100% correct, Poopman Jones, and that's part of the reason why I skip people who beg, because the people who beg have nothing. All right. We'll move on to the next person. Hi, Carpenter. How old are you?
60 years old.
Okay. And what God do you believe in?
I believe in God. I'm Christian. I believe in God and Jesus Christ.
Cool. And then what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
I would say that there is no evidence, but the intricate design of nature points to the existence of a creator.
How so?
The way things work in harmony, the harmony of the universe.
Yeah, what
suggests a
about
higher
that points
power.
to a, yeah, how though? That's just restating the claim that you already made. I'm not asking you to rephrase the claim with different words. I'm asking you to give me the reason why I should think that you're correct.
I mean, that's a tough point to prove. That's just a tough point to prove.
Well, it sounds like you don't have
wish I
any
had-
reason to believe it yourself. So if you don't have any reason to believe it, why would you believe it?
Well,
And if you do have a reason to believe it, then just tell me what that is.
I mean, I just see nature, day to day.
Right, but I see
having-
nature day to day as well, and as far as I can tell, everything I see gives me reason to believe that there is no God. So clearly,
No, I
if we're
understand
just
that, yeah.
okay, but the problem here, Carpenter, the problem here is that if we're just taking the way things seem to you, if that's valid, then obviously the way things seem to me is equally valid, right?
Mhm.
And if we use the way things seem to come to opposite conclusions, then that gets us nowhere. So obviously we're not going to be able to make any progress if we just talk about the way things seem to us. So we need something
Mhm.
deeper, something with more substance. Do you have anything like that?
I would say, having children, the amazing thing of raising kids, and
I don't know how this has anything to do with a God. That's what I need you to. I don't need you to like point to examples of things. I need you to
Right, I hear
like
you.
draw the line to God.
Well, I mean, the evidence, like I said, is it's there is no tangible, no physical evidence. It's,
I'm not
like I
asking for
said,
tangible or physical evidence. I'm asking for any reason to believe in a God. And just poisoning the well by saying like, "Oh, I don't have the kind of evidence you want," or something, or implying that kind of thing, is not going to move the conversation forward.
But no, I hear what you're saying. But I've been watching your show and I respect it. I think you're making a lot of Christians, a lot of people really think hard, and it's great.
I
respect
do
it. I do.
I do appreciate the compliment, but I'm not really interested in compliments. I'm looking for any reason to believe in God. So unfortunately, I don't mean to be an asshole, but I am an asshole.
you're fine.
So this is the last time I'm going to ask before I'll just move on. Do you have any reason whatsoever to believe in a God that you can communicate to
Like-
me?
I mean, not the answer you're looking for, but the only thing I can say again is I would say, like I said, the intricate design of
Yeah, I'm
of the
asking
universe.
how okay. Why should we think it's design and not just a result of natural processes? Maybe we can try that route.
Why do we think it's, but not natural processes? That's Well, I mean, you could think that way too. That it's just natural processes.
Okay,
just
so then
normal
that thing that you then this intricacy isn't
Well,
a
no, I'm
reason to
saying
believe in a God. So we still have
I'm saying
no
that
reason to believe in God from you.
No, I'm saying that you can think on the way you just said. It's fine too. But
Right. So that means
um,
that if a valid conclusion to draw from the intricacy of nature is that it is a result of natural processes, then obviously the intricacy of nature isn't a reason to believe in a God.
it's just the intricate design of nature points to.
Why should we think it's a design? You keep using that word. I think that you're just assuming that and you don't have a reason to think it's actually designed.
I don't like to use this phrase. Like, I mean, Earth is just too much of a perfect hamster cage. It's just
You
too
think that
perfect.
earthquakes are perfect when they kill hundreds of thousands of people?
I mean, that's just the natural process. the way
Okay,
we
you think
die.
that's perfect, a perfect process?
No, it's just a part of.
Oh,
of-
okay.
of-
So now so the reason to believe in God is because the earth is so perfect, but the earth isn't perfect?
No, I think that's just. A
Okay, so
natural thing
is
that
the
has
earth
to happen.
perfect?
Like
Is
we
the earth
die, we have to
is the
die. That's
is the
natural.
earth perfect?
I wouldn't say the Earth is perfect. when the
Okay, so
earthquake
obviously
happens,
if the
but-
earth isn't perfect, then the perfection of the earth can't be a reason to believe in God, right?
I think it's a part. I think
No, answer the
earthquakes
question,
are a part,
please.
you know.
Answer the question, please. If the earth is
Go
not
ahead.
perfect, then the perfection of the earth cannot be a reason to believe in God, right? Because there is no perfection of earth.
That's a tough one to answer.
No, it's not a tough one to answer. The only reason it's tough to answer is because you won't let yourself be honest. Just answer the question honestly. If the earth is not perfect, then we cannot use the perfection of the earth to support any claims, can we?
Let me go back. I believe.
Can
the
you
Earth
just
is-
answer the question, please?
Go ahead.
If the earth is not perfect, then we cannot use the perfection of the earth as support for a claim, can we?
I assume we could not. Right.
Right. So now we've had the reasons to believe in God are things like the design of the universe, but you can't give a reason to think that the universe is designed, and you agreed that it's a perfectly legitimate conclusion to think that it's just the result of natural processes. Then you said the perfection of the earth, and now we both agree that the earth isn't perfect, and therefore there is no perfection to provide a reason for anything. So I'll give you one more opportunity, I guess. Do you have any reason whatsoever to believe in God?
Okay, I would say that the way the world works in harmony, just
What harmony?
The resources we have, everything that we've been given, and like I said before, I
Okay,
don't
but
like to
again,
use the
again,
term-
again, Carpenter, you're just assuming the conclusion. But to say that we were given these resources assumes that someone put them there for us. That's the thing that
Exactly.
you're supposed to be providing a reason to believe. And so when you just assume it, what you're doing is making a circular argument. You're saying since God exists and gave us the resources, those resources mean that God exists. But then all you're saying is since God exists, God must exist. But I can just say, since God doesn't exist, God can't exist. And I've given the exact same kind of argument you've given. And just like we found before, if we just go on the way things seem, or if we just give circular arguments that support, that where our conclusion supports our conclusion, we're not going to make any progress. So it doesn't sound like we have anything. I do appreciate the conversation. I think that you've been honest in good faith. I sincerely do appreciate that, but I don't think we're making any progress. So I'm just going to go ahead and move on. Okay. Oh shit. All right. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Okay. Gotta hydrate. Yeah, I do appreciate that Carpenter was good faith. Like, I definitely do. I'm not trying to say that he wasn't, because he certainly was. Damn, Banana Mom, thank you so much. Thank you, Lupine and Bradley Cooper. So happy to see you both here and appreciate your support. Thank you, Emperor Smile. I don't know what that is. That's fucking awesome, though. Thank you to Discordant Rhyme and Chuck Dog. And damn, Banana Mom, I really appreciate the support. Thanks, Poopman Jones. You're the best. Okay. Once again, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, please be an adult, actually believe in a God, and have some kind of argument or evidence. Well, I wouldn't go that far, Tony. Hi, the one and only. How old are you?
Perfect. Okay, so
How
now
old
we
are
can
you?
have a real conversation. I'm 29.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
I believe in the Holy Trinity.
Okay, and then what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
The circle of life is immoral to a human.
So what's the reason to believe in a God?
There is none. My father dictates me.
Oh, okay. So if we both agree that there's no reason to believe in a God, then it doesn't sound like there's anything to talk about.
But hold on a second. There is
So what is the reason to believe in a God?
Because nature supersedes all.
Okay, what
You can die.
What is the reason to believe in a God?
The Father, Son, and Holy Spirit doesn't die, but a human does.
Why should I think that they exist?
You have no way to prove they exist. The only
Okay.
thing that you can do
All right.
is have faith.
I agree that there's no reason to think that they exist. Oh man, we finally get to have a good conversation, and then he has absolutely nothing. Once again, Poopman Jones, just like you said, the guy begging to come up had absolutely nothing. Glad to see you here, Lobes, and thank you so much for the support.
Okay, finally. We're gonna have a good conversation for once.
Yeah, God exists because God exists. Oh.
Well, haven't you ever heard that from the day we arrived on the planet, and blinking we stepped into the sun, there's like more to see than can even ever be seen, Ogar. There's more to do, Ogar, than can ever be done.
Whoa.
That's all I can say about it.
Whoa. I mean, what do we do now? I mean, there's nowhere left to go. I think we've uncovered all the mysteries.
Yeah, there's just like far too much to take in.
Oof, Catholic thinker calling me out. Oh, I better delete that comment so nobody sees that I'm dodging him. Oh man. Well, hey, maybe with your presence, we can actually have somebody will actually have something of substance to talk about.
I got 10 minutes. 10 minute speed run.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure you're an adult and you actually have some argument or evidence for God. We'll see if Meow can connect. Hi, Meow. How old are you?
19.
And what God do you believe in?
Jesus Christ.
Cool. What would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide rational justification to believe in a God?
Nigger.
Unbelievable.
Nigger.
That's like the best that they've got.
At least he admitted that he follows Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well,
I
mean,
wish that was like appropriate to clip, you know.
Well, I mean, what we're gonna do though, it's so annoying how like TikTok doesn't just like, yeah, it won't let me. God, it's so fucking annoying. Maybe. I don't understand why TikTok won't just like show me. I just want to block that bigoted piece of shit. But that's such a hard name to look up. And TikTok doesn't give me the option to just. Do you think if I go to like
I think after, I don't know if it works from the studio or not, but I remember whenever I would finish a live at least from my phone, it would say like, here's some people you might want to follow. Like it will show up the guests that I had. So maybe that'll happen. I never pay attention when I leave the studio or when I end from the studio. Jason gonna find him.
Oh, sick. Yeah, I know the name was Meow, but it's really hard to check your system. Check live centers. Fuck. Well, it's not something I'll be able to find right now. But anyway, well, we'll see if we can actually have a conversation. I think that the only person, only two people requesting are one guy who said he doesn't believe in a God and basically wants to LARP. And then the other one is somebody who was already up earlier and had nothing. So I guess we don't have anybody requesting at the moment that is actually, here for the conversation that I'm trying to have. Why would I do that, Colin? You already showed earlier you have nothing. Oh. Jason, thank you so much. Here's what we need to do. We need to do one of these. And, oh, that's not going to let me do it. Okay, we need to do one of these. And then we need to do one of these. And then TikTok's going to just be super slow. Go here, and then we're going to go...
Sussy.
Yeah,
he is sus, isn't he?
Yeah, I know, right? Here we go. Perfect. Fucking perfect. Block that bigoted piece of shit. What a garbage human being.
Has he been up before?
Not that I'm aware of. Oh, shit. What was I doing? I was doing something. I got distracted. We need to go here, and we need to go here. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, W. Jason Debateman. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, maybe Lobes, maybe you can make some progress with Colin because I wasn't able to.
Better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, 19-year-old Christian, what have you got, Colin?
All right. So your whole argument, you were saying God is not real because he can't be above space and time because nothing's above space and time, correct?
No, I said because causation can only happen inside space and time.
Oh, okay. All right.
So what you were supposed to be doing is finding an account of causation that doesn't require space and time.
All right. What about the flood? You know Noah's Ark?
Okay, so what you're supposed to be doing... Okay, well, you know what? Maybe Lobes can make progress with you.
Hold up. Wait, is Lobes debating you, or is he on your side?
No, he's a much nicer, better person than me, who is also an atheist.
Okay. All right. I feel like we're not gonna get anywhere with our original argument. So can we shift it a little bit, a different direction?
You want to talk about the flood?
No, that's not what I want. That's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the Bible. Okay. So, do you believe that it was just a coincidence that there were over 40 authors and over 63,000 connections between hundreds of years? What's your explanation for that?
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy to like make connections when you already have the source material and you're adding to it.
But they were written in different sides of different continents.
But they had access to the Old Testament, like the New Testament authors already had the Torah. I can write a sequel to like a really old book that came from the other side of the world because I have the old book and I can make as many connections as I want.
But
Bhagavad Gita 2.
Copies of this book was even. They didn't have copies of this book. There were different authors. They didn't have printing press yet. They didn't have ways to get this book around. So it's not like they wrote it knowing that parts had already been written. Is kind of my point.
They did. They had it. They did obviously didn't have a printing press, but they copied it just fine. They had scribes that copied the shit very meticulously.
I mean, I don't really agree with that to an extent. So, I mean,
okay, what's the evidence for your position? I mean, just saying I don't agree, like you're trying to say, oh, they must not have had access, and it must be a miracle that all these things line up. But you should actually be supporting your position, not just making the claim. Lobes is pointing.
A lot of things don't line up too.
That's the other thing that I was thinking about.
What's an example of what doesn't line up?
Yeah, sure. Well, like Paul, when he was writing, didn't have access to the Gospels, and that's why he disagrees so much with Jesus. Jesus constantly says the old law is not going away, but then Paul says over and over again that, oh, Jesus made the old law go away. The reason Paul was so wrong is, like I said, he didn't have access to the Gospels. Sorry, I cut you off, Lobes.
It's all right. I was just gonna do like a different, like Gospels versus other Gospels thing. Like in Matthew, there's a zombie apocalypse, and then that's not mentioned anywhere else in the Bible.
So was there a zombie apocalypse or not, Colin?
I'm not familiar with that, no.
When Jesus raised from the dead, according to the Gospel of Matthew, a whole bunch of other dead people rose up from their graves and walked around in the city. Did that really happen?
I'm not aware of that.
Okay. So you're saying that there are things in the Gospels, claims about events that didn't actually happen?
Well, I'm not saying anything because I've never heard that before, actually, so...
Yeah, well, it's in there, and I think it's a huge.
No, you're right.
detail.
You're right. It is in there.
It's something that they shouldn't. You know, like that's a detail that I would have not forgotten about if I was writing a gospel. You know, when one of these guys is writing and he's like, yeah, there were zombies walking all over the place and revealed themselves to many people. And we're talking. That would be a thing that should be in like all of them. I think that's a huge detail to overlook. So I'd say that's where it doesn't line up with the other ones.
Yeah, because you have two options there. Either the author of Matthew was lying about there having been a zombie apocalypse, or all the other authors, for some weird reason, didn't include it. Now, either that's because because it's all bullshit, right? Or it's because they just left it out. But that seems like if you're going to put in all the miraculous stuff, why wouldn't you put in something like dead bodies raising from the ground and walking around?
I mean, again, though, like I understand what you're saying, but that's not really an argument because I mean they could have just left it out. I mean, like
maybe there was zombies, Ogar. Well, I mean, so Matthew doesn't really make himself seem very credible, like from the very beginning, where he's listing all these prophecies that Jesus was supposed to fulfill, but he makes some up, like that were not even in the Torah. He's like, as it was written, you know, he fulfilled this. Like he says he'll be a Nazarene. That's not a prophecy. Like, there's nowhere in the Old Testament is the word Nazarene even in there. He's just making shit up to make it look like he's fulfilling prophecy because he wants Jesus to look like the Messiah in his gospel, whoever Matthew is.
Yeah, it wasn't Matthew the one that made up it pretended that there was a prophecy about the virgin birth?
Probably he makes up a few. That's the Nazarene was the only one I can remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think that Matthew is the one that claims. Yeah, in the Gospel of Matthew
Hey, y'all
cites.
talking like y'all were alive, bro.
No, we're talking like people who've actually looked into the claims of the book.
Nah, you weren't back then. You weren't there back then.
Okay, well, do you have anything serious, Colin, or should I just move on?
I mean, just God bless you. I'm gonna pray for you.
Yeah, okay, I'll sin for you.
Only if you extend us the same courtesy. Dear Satan, master of autonomy and liberation, Prince of Darkness, please reveal your wise skepticism to Colin so that he may see the light and free himself from the father of lies, the fictional Yahweh. Hail Satan, amen. I think it goes both ways. Two-way street.
Well, I just think it's such a dumb thing to end with. Yeah, well, I'm not surprised that he had nothing. Well, but it does make me feel better that it wasn't just me. He just had nothing in general. You know, at the end of the day, what I really want to say is, praise be to Eunice.
You know, maybe Eunice and Satan are pals. I don't know if I'm like the type of person to be adding to the lore, but like I feel like that would be really fun if they just are buddies that hang out sometimes.
Satan and Eunice?
Yeah, because he's the adversary, right? So he's like, yeah, dude, Yahweh made all this stuff up about me. He won't list any of these stories in detail because none of this shit actually happened. I'm actually a decent fellow. You can ask a third of the heavenly host. They left with me. They were outraged.
Well, I mean, in the biblical story, God is obviously the bad guy, right? So if Satan and God are enemies and God's the bad guy, what do you think that makes Satan?
Satan's, yeah, the good guy. He's like, yeah, he made me kill Job's kids and stuff. What's up with that?
Right, right.
What a sick person. Just for fun, there wasn't even any stakes.
Yeah, I'm pretty
I gotta
sure.
get back into work.
All right, well, thanks, man. Have a good one. W. Lobes. All right. Well, we shall see if we have an actual debate. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're an adult and have some kind of argument or evidence for God. Uh-oh. What's up, Sober?
Yeah, you're prepared to lose?
No, I can't. I have to kick everybody who is doing well because that's my only strategy.
Yeah, I'm here to prove flat Earth.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I would crash out so fucking fast trying to do flat Earth debates.
I haven't told you the account yet, but I have an alt account that I plan on coming up here at some point. And it's going to be a fun day for me. Not you, but for me.
Oh, man, I don't need that.
You have no one in the guests?
I got a few people. I'm gonna move on to the next person, but I
Okay,
appreciate you,
cool,
man.
No problem.
Take care. All right. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure you're an adult and have an actual argument or evidence for God. Also, if you beg in the comments to be let up, you will get skipped. Just so you know. Yes, W. Sober. And Lobes. Hey, Lady in Red, how old are you?
56.
Okay. And what God do you believe in?
The God, Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Okay. And what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would give us reason to believe in God?
Okay, God has always been. As a human...
Well, I don't think that he even exists, so why should I think he exists in the first place?
No, listen.
No,
God
stop.
has always-
You're claiming that God exists, and telling me that he's always existed doesn't give me a reason to think that he exists. So before talking about how long he's exists... Yeah, no, because you're off topic. So I just need you to give me the reason to believe he exists in the first place.
Us as humans cannot fathom. We have to believe in a beginning and an end.
No, we don't.
Correct.
Nope, because I don't believe in a beginning or an end. So why should we believe in God?
Because the Bible clearly states...
Why should I believe
don't
anything
know
the
what
Bible
happened
says?
to you
Why should I
at 15.
believe? Why should I care what the Bible says?
Okay, let me just leave you with this, okay? If I get to the end of my life and I've lived as a
Okay,
Christian...
is there any reason to believe in the Bible?
Absolutely.
Okay, what's the reason to believe in the Bible?
It's faith.
Okay, so
It's
that's not actually a reason. You just believe it regardless of not having a reason.
no, but if
Okay, so what's the reason to believe in the Bible?
I don't know what happened to you to make you question this.
Okay,
but
so
if
I'm
I
just
could
asking for a
focus-
reason. I don't want you to pivot away to other stuff because you can't actually engage on the substance. What's a reason to believe in the Bible?
I mean, have you ever read it?
So I'll ask you one more time. What's a reason to believe in the Bible?
Because it's prophecy. It's what had like.
Why
we
should
do
I think
not
that it's
live by
prophecy?
Old Testament, but because of the Old Testament.
So why should I think
we
that
have
it's
the New
prophecy?
Testament. Well, I mean, it's faith. You've
Okay,
never seen a
so
mustard
again, we're
seed?
just back to faith. And faith can be like, do you think the faith actually justifies beliefs?
Yes. it's
Okay, so if
according
I
to
have
God.
faith that there is no God, then I'm justified in believing that there is no God?
No. Do you
Oh,
believe in
so
Satan?
so you're saying that faith doesn't justify beliefs?
There are a lot of
Okay, so I'm
things
asking
that
you a direct
happen.
question here, Lady in Red, and we'll put it up on the screen. Does faith justify beliefs? And so that's a yes
Yes.
or no. Okay, so yes.
Yes.
So since faith justifies beliefs, if I have faith that there is no God, then I'm justified in believing that there is no God, right?
Of course. If that's
Okay,
what
so
you
if your position is that I'm justified in believing that there is no God, then it sounds like we are, that sounds like we agree, and I'll just move on to the next person. Glad to have you here, Soul. All right. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that will provide justification to believe in a God. I think I'm a Bob. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay. What God do you believe in?
I believe in Jesus Christ.
And what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide rational justification to believe in a God?
Because of all the evil in the world.
Why does evil give us a reason to believe in a God?
If there was no God, there would be no need for evil.
Okay.
But the most documented thing, even more than that, is evil and sacrifice.
Okay, so can you
If there
actually
was no
provide
God,
the
there
argument?
would not be devil. Yes, all of the Aztec and Mexican temples are documented sacrificial temples.
That's not a response. So what's the argument that if evil exists, God must exist?
That you're a fat chud, you're a fat chud.
Okay, well, that's about the best they've got. Hey, Bradley Cooper, immediately in for the win. Thank you so much. I knew I made the right people mods. Yeah, I figured, hey, damn, Banana Mom, thank you so much. Unfortunately, Catholic Thinker, you seem to be one of the few who doesn't do that. Yes, Jason DeBateman, yes. Especially if they say slurs, like that's 100%. Stuff like that, I guess use your judgment. I mean, I would have blocked that person, so, Oh, you're a poor choice? Oh, I don't think so, CT. I don't think so at all. I thought you meant you're the exception for... yeah, block on any slurs for sure. Whether it's in the chat or people who come up, yes. Hey! Damn! I actually used to play trumpet, so it's a flashback to the old days. Rascal's Wager, that sounds way better than Pascal's Wager. No, Smuckers, you were right the first time. All right, so currently nobody in the guest queue, so if you are 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God, I'd be happy to talk with you. Please feel free to come up. basically just looking to actually have good faith, productive debates about whether or not there's reason to believe in a God. Thank you for the support, Ian. I appreciate that immensely. And Chuck Dog and Lem, Isserly, thank you so much. Banana Mom, thank you for all the support. Been fucking killing it. Thank you so much. Sober, appreciate it. Lupine, yeah, you guys fucking rule. And I do sincerely appreciate the support. But yeah, I would love to actually have a debate if anybody actually has any arguments or evidence for God. Doesn't seem like anybody does. Yeah, they do. They have a lot of claims. That's for sure. They have a lot of claims. But nothing of substance, unfortunately. Yeah, all the big talking in the comments, and we don't see any actual support for the position that a God exists. Funny how that works. Let me check. This is gonna annoy me. Okay, I'm gonna go here, and then we'll. How do we do it? We do one of these. Whoa, crazy. Yeah, I. Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, currently don't have anybody. Well, hey, I appreciate it, Jason DeBateman, and we can also do one of those. Why not? Okay. Would love if anyone actually has some kind of argument or evidence. Yeah, Jason's over on the YouTubes as well. The Tube of You. What do we got? Yeah. I don't know what the deal is. It's been really slow all evening. But I would love to actually have some kind of, argument or evidence for God presented. Obviously, there's lots of people who believe in it, but nobody that actually wants to present anything. Maybe I do a second reset. And see if I can finish out with some actual conversations. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be going, but I don't know. I'd like to. There is a request button. You just click the pink and blue people next to the text box. Well, I don't see any reason why I would bring up Mind versus Environment. He already said that he doesn't believe in a God, and I'm looking to talk to people who do. Right? I think that's pretty easy. Just looking to actually have debates about whether or not there's a reason to believe in a God. You know what? I am going to do the dreaded rare double reset. I'm going to go ahead and reset on TikTok. Yeah, it's been slow, really slow tonight. People don't want to actually provide arguments or evidence for their position. But yeah, give me 1 sec on TikTok. I will be right back. Yeah, I think I went for like an hour, and then there went about an hour and a half. Okay. Maybe on the third TikTok stream of the night, we'll actually get some people who have legitimate argument or evidence for God. We shall see. We shall see. Hey, Poopman Jones starting it out strong. Thank you so much. And Nobody on Fire. Thank you. Back indeed, Mikey. Back indeed. Thanks for tapping the screen, liking, sharing, all that stuff. I don't really know how the algorithm works, but my understanding is that stuff helps, so I appreciate it. But yeah, hopefully some people will come in and we'll actually get some folks who are adults and have arguments or evidence for God. That would be nice. But, not really holding my breath, but Yeah, the dreaded double reset. It doesn't happen often, I'll tell you that. Can I find a time that it has happened previously? It looks like a single reset isn't all that rare. It definitely happens fairly regularly, it looks like. I mean, there are nights where it doesn't, but looks like a lot of these have done at least one reset. Oh, here's a bunch where I did no resets. Oh, there was a double reset back at the beginning of the month. So looks like twice this month I've had to do. Oh, there was another one at the very beginning of the month. So this is the third time this month I've had to do it. So I guess it's not quite as rare as I thought it was. But anyway, if you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining the guest queue, make sure that you are 18 plus and that you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, how old are you?
Hello, I am 40.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
It's a little bit complicated for me because I was a Christian for 20 years. It was Jesus Christ from the King James. However, I did leave the church, but I'm trying to see deconstruct what I do believe, but I still do believe that there is a creator.
Maybe just like a generic theistic God?
So for me, this is what I believe in, and I want to tell you, maybe you might believe in what I believe in, but I've thought about everything, right? But one of the things that just like struck me when I think about it is like even just looking at human beings, right? It like the anatomy. Like that's one thing that just like makes me like know for a fact that there has to be someone
How does that
thought about it
Why?
or something.
Why?
Because of the way we are built.
Yeah, no, that's just
right?
stating the claim
Like,
again. I'm asking you to provide justification for the claim.
So like in what way? Like justifying what I'm saying? Well, if you
Yeah,
look
providing
at
a reason to think that it's true that there was some intention involved in our creation.
okay, so for example, if I look at my hands, right? I have nails.
No,
have
I
5
understand that you
fingers.
think that there's design. I'm saying, like, I see all those things too, right? I'm aware of
Yeah.
the complexity of our bodies, right? So what is the reason that I should think that that requires a creator?
Because how can it
No, don't
like,
ask a question.
somehow-
Don't ask a question, Chismacito. Just tell me the reason to think that a creator was involved.
Because there is intelligence behind it.
That's just stating the claim. I'm asking you to provide support for that claim. What's the reason to think that there was intelligence behind our coming into existence as a species?
Because there was a thought. It was thoughtful. It
Okay,
was
well, that's just
everything-
restating the claim again. I'm not asking you to just find new words to claim that we were created. I'm asking you to provide some kind of argument or evidence that would give me a reason to think that we were created. So this is
Well, I
the
mean,
last
the
time that I'm
argument-
asking. If you don't give a direct response, I'm just going to move on. What's the reason to think that we were created?
I mean, to me, it's just the argument is I don't have evidence. There's no
Okay.
evidence, but just my body in
Yeah,
general.
so,
and
okay.
your
Well, I
body.
appreciate it, and I hope you have a good one. Yeah. Hoping to actually have some kind of argument or evidence. Okay. So again, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would justify believing in a God. Hi, Jax. How old are you?
19.
Yeah, okay. That's probably worth a block as well. All right.
Yo, what's up?
Kat, how old are you?
I'm 18.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
I believe in Jesus Christ.
Okay. And then what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
Well, I was just watching you, and the lady before me was saying about the same things. But what I really want to say is I'm not going to put any Bible quotes because you don't believe in them, right? You don't believe
Okay,
in
so I don't need you to do all this like meta. I'm just asking the reason to believe in a God, please.
Well, look at the trees, bro. Look at all the air. How was all this created? It's not a big bang.
Well, when I look at the trees and when I look at the air, I see lots of reasons not to believe in a God. So if you're just saying that, oh, when I get the intuition that there was a God, well, I have the opposite intuition. So how do we tell which one of our intuitions is correct?
I don't even know, bro. I'm not
Okay.
that smart to understand that.
Fair enough. I agree. Granted, as you could say. Once again, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, Ant, how old are you?
Yo, I'm 19, bro.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
That your hair looks like my balls.
You should
Your
get that
bald
looked at,
head
man.
is-
You should probably get that checked out. All right, if you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence for God, feel free to come up and we can have a good faith linear debate, hopefully.
Hello.
Hi, Rooster, how old are you?
Good. 42.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
No God anymore. I used to believe in a God.
Okay.
But it was too scary, so somehow I finally found the truth, and
All right, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that will provide rational justification to believe in a God. Hi, Shakur, how old are you?
I'm 38.
Okay,
How
and
you
what
doing
God do you
today,
believe
man?
in?
I believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
I'm sorry, what's that?
I believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
I don't know what that means.
Allah.
Okay, the Muslim God?
Allah. Yes, sir.
Cool. And what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
Okay, so like the same God that the Christians worship, the same God that Jesus worshiped, is the same God that the Muslims worship.
Yeah, why should I think that
Now-
God exists?
You think that God exists?
No, I'm asking why I should think that God exists.
You should think it's been signed. I don't know if you had heard about the story of Moses.
Yeah,
when he
what's
led-
no? I don't care about the stories. I obviously don't believe in any of those stories. So what's the
Okay, so
reason to
that's-
believe that
hold
God
on,
exists?
Hold on. If you let me talk, I'm gonna bring you to it, brother. But both
No,
of
I'm
us
not
can't
going to
talk
let
at the
you.
same
I'm not
time.
going to let you preach or
But
yeah.
it's evidence of.
No,
it's
Shakur,
evidence of
Shakur,
that- it's evidence of that
Shakur.
whole
Hello,
event.
hey, I need you to pay attention to what's happening right now. I do not want to hear the stories that you believe in. I want to hear the reason from an independent
That's what
perspective
I'm
to
telling
believe
you.
that a God
It's
exists.
evidence. Okay, like I was saying, it's evidence of that story when the manna and the quail was dropped around
Just
the
give me.
Sinai.
Stop talking about the story. Just
That's
give
what
the
I'm
evidence.
trying to give you, man, but you don't want to hear the facts.
Okay, here's the
facts
thing,
is
Shakur.
that it was-
Shakur, stop,
it was
stop,
scientifically
calm down,
proven
stop.
that-
What? How was it scientifically proven?
You can look it up on the internet. can
You want
Google
me
this
to do
information.
your research for you? That's
It's
your argument?
Scientifically proven that
How
the
was it
manna
scientifically
and the
proven?
quail
Yep. How
is
was it scientifically proven?
Because they found particles of that substance around the Sinai desert.
Sure. So where should I look this up? What's
can Google
what's
it.
what's the scientific peer-reviewed article that I can read? What's the title?
You can look it up. You
So
can
I need
type
to do
in-
the research for you.
I already did the research. You
Okay,
asking the
cool.
question,
So then
I'm
what's the
answering.
title of the paper that has this scientific evidence in it?
Only thing you have to do is Google. Was there any
Okay,
any
so
evidence
you
of
do you
quail
name the
and manna?
can you if you can't name the title of the paper, I'm just going to move on.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's already scientifically proven. You asked.
It's scientifically proven because it's scientifically proven, you guys. Yeah, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are an adult and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, Levi, how old are you?
I actually just turned 18.
Okay, well, I don't believe you. Sorry. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Yeah, I agree with you, Logan. That was pretty rough. Hey, Dominic, how old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay, what God do you believe in?
Jesus, God.
Okay, and what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
I would say that there has to be a creator. Tell me how you think the
We're
world
not
was
doing
created,
burden
how-
shifts. We're not doing burden shifts. What's the reason to believe in a God?
Creation.
Why should I think that the universe was created?
Because it has to be. It's as simple as that. Just think if you
And so what's the
literally-
argument or evidence for that?
The Bible.
And what's the reason I should believe in the Bible?
It's about belief. You can't show proof.
What's the reason I should believe in the Bible?
Look, proof is something.
What's the
that
reason
you
I should
have-
believe in the Bible?
Let me talk.
No, you don't get to yap and you don't get to preach. You can tell me the reason I should believe in the Bible, though.
And how am I supposed to do that if you won't listen?
Well, by just answering the question directly. So I'll ask one last time. What's the reason to believe in the Bible?
The reason to believe in the Bible is because there's a creator.
Okay, so
How would
now
you-
we've just gone in a circle. So the reason to believe in God is because he's the creator, and the reason we
Can I
should think
ask you
that there was a
something?
creation is because of the Bible, and the reason that we should believe the Bible is because of God. So if you boil it down, the argument is you should believe in God because you should believe in God. Have I got that right?
So
was that your
can I ask
argument?
you-
Is that the best
No,
argument that
no.
you can give?
No. Can I ask you?
Can
a
you give a
question?
better argument than that? Yes or no?
I can.
Oh, fantastic. So what's the better argument?
So can you? Yeah.
Oh,
he's
so
not
the
letting me
best
speak.
argument you can give is
Okay,
to
hold
shift the
on.
burden?
Hold on.
Oh, okay. So what's
Can
the
I ask you
argument?
a question?
No, you
Can I
cannot.
ask you
What's
a
the no? If you were
Why
being
is
good
that?
faith, then I would be fine with it. But you're not. So no. So do you have any argument or evidence that would give a reason to believe in God?
Hold on.
Yeah. I'll give you all the time you need. Oh, I went to drop him and he dropped himself. That is hilarious. All right. If you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Thank you so much, everybody, for the support. Zell, Nobody on Fire, Poopman Jones, Lupine, Jason DeBateman, Peacemonger, both sides. Carlos, thank you all so much for the support. Okay. Maybe we can have an actual good faith linear discussion here. Aishu, how old are you?
I'm 36.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
Well, I just believe in one God. I'm not that religious in terms of specific.
Well, I didn't ask how
religion.
many gods you believe in. Do you just believe in like an immaterial mind that created the universe?
Yeah, I believe in an all-powerful, uncaused cause.
Okay, and what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would give us a reason to believe in such a God?
I would say the origins of the universe is one.
Why should we think that the universe originated?
Well, I mean, if we think about the Big Bang and how things came to be.
Nope,
in terms of
nope,
what we
stop. The
understand-
Big Bang doesn't give us any reason to think that that was a beginning of anything. Well, it was the beginning
I
of the
didn't say that.
expansion. Yeah, but you're talking about the origin of the universe. The Big Bang has nothing to do with the universe having an origin. So why should we think that the universe has an origin?
Well, it's the origin of our known universe and what
No.
the material.
Nope,
the
that's
material we
incorrect.
see.
Again, you're incorrect. So the Big Bang has nothing to do with whether or not anything began other than the expansion. It doesn't have to do with things coming into existence. It doesn't have to do with the beginning of time or matter. So what is the reason to think the universe had an origin?
Well, so do you believe our universe is finite?
Okay, so that's a burden shift. I'm asking you the reason to think that the universe had an origin.
Okay, so then we'll go on to that. So the reason to think the universe had an origin, very simply, is because if I ask you what was before the universe or what was before the Big Bang, you're going to tell me a condensed small piece of density,
No,
whatever.
it doesn't matter what
Or
you
you're
think I'm
I
going to
don't
say.
know.
So here's the problem, Shu. It doesn't matter
you
whether
don't know.
Shu, stop. It doesn't matter whether I have an answer or not. The question is whether you can support your position. Let's imagine that you've already proven everything I believe wrong. All the beliefs that I have about the universe, whether it had a beginning or what kind of beginnings are possible, all that stuff, you've demolished it. You've completely proven it all wrong. I'm now a completely blank slate. I don't have any beliefs whatsoever, and I'm an open book just waiting for you to give me a reason to believe that you're correct. What is the reason to believe that you're correct?
So, well, first of all, yeah. So the origins of the universe, I would say, prior to that, there was what we know in science, a Big Bang.
No,
And
again,
I'm
we
saying
already
what
discussed
caused
this,
that-
Shu. We already discussed this. The Big Bang has nothing to do with the universe having an origin. So if you want to provide a reason to believe in the origin of the universe, you cannot invoke the Big Bang.
Okay,
do you understand?
okay, I got
Stop,
what
stop,
you're
stop,
saying
stop, stop. Do you understand that the Big Bang has nothing to do with the universe having an origin?
That's fine. I got
Do you understand that the Big Bang has nothing to do with the universe having an origin?
Sure.
Okay, fantastic. So what is the reason to think that the universe has an origin?
Well, so let's say it doesn't. Now I'm going to go that route. Let's say that the universe doesn't have an origin and it was always here. Then you would have to accept either our universe was always here or another universe was always here, because if you believe in the multiverse idea.
So what's the
But
reason to believe in a
idea I'm
God?
trying to get at is infinite regression.
What's
You
the
have
reason to believe in a God? Just
Well,
land the plane,
I
man.
just told you infinite regression.
Well, how does
there has
infinite
to be a
regression give us a
source.
reason to believe in a God?
There has to be a source.
That's
that
the claim.
started everything.
That's the claim. What's the support for that
Okay.
claim?
There's the support that there has to be. If you want a like a logical idea
So the
of the
support for the claim is that there is support for the claim. That's what's the best you've got.
No, the support for the claim is what I just said. Infinite regression. You can.
How does
you
it?
can go back-
How does infinite regression give us a reason to believe in a God?
Because there has to be a source.
That's the claim.
started-
That's okay. We're going to put this up on the screen because clearly you can't track your own argument here. So, the claim, there has to be a source. Okay, cool. Support for the claim that isn't just restating the claim. Okay, what's this part? The support that isn't just restating it.
Well, okay. I see the humor in what you're trying.
I'm not trying to
here.
do any humor, Shu. I'm pointing out to you how dumb you're being right now. So what is
No,
the
not
support
at
for the
all.
claim that isn't just restating the claim?
Okay, so infinite regression tells us that things will always have to begin at a known cause.
Okay.
It can't be things are just
So,
coming into
Nope, this is
being.
just another claim. So now what we do here is we go there, and then we put that up here, right? And so now the claim is infinite regression says things have to begin. What's the support for this claim that isn't just restating the claim or restating an earlier claim?
Well, like I said, I mean, I don't know what type of evidence you want. You want empirical, physical evidence? Because everything that exists has a cause.
Okay, so I don't know what type of evidence you want. How does that provide evidence that the infinite regression says things have to begin?
Well, I'm just saying everything that begins to exist has a cause.
Everything that begins to exist has a cause. Okay, what
Exactly.
if there's just an infinite regress of things being caused to exist? What's the problem with that?
That wouldn't work.
Oh, okay. So now we're right back to the infinite regression says things have to begin. So what's the support for that? Because clearly saying that that things have a cause doesn't get us there.
No, what I'm saying is infinite regression would go against the claim that we
How?
spawned from
Okay,
a
so-
universe, and
okay.
that universe spawned from another universe.
Shu, what is the problem with an infinite regression?
I just told you that it's a logical fallacy.
What is the fallacy?
Infinite regression.
What's the fallacy?
The fallacy is that if we started to at this universe and then another universe.
No, you're talking
like
about
that,
a start.
there has to be a
No,
source.
stop. You're just claiming that. Okay, this is the last
There
time I'm
has to be a
asking because all you're
source.
doing, your claim is that there has to be a source because the infinite regression has a problem. What I need you to do is tell me the problem with an infinite regress that demands there must be a source. If you can't give a direct answer to that isn't just restating the claim or recycling an earlier claim, then I'm going to move on.
Okay, so I think this is again a philosophical concern. Is
Obviously.
that,
So just give the fucking answer, dude. Like, I don't know why this is so difficult. If you believe that an infinite regress is impossible, then give the reason for that instead of just declaring it impossible.
well, it's impossible for things.
Oh, it's because it's impossible. Oh, I should have thought of that. Guys, it's impossible because it's impossible. I don't know if you guys didn't realize that it was impossible because it's impossible, but apparently that's the best argument that exists. Unbelievable. Okay. All right, well, we'll try. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God.
Of course you don't believe in God, you fat fucking nigger.
And that's exactly what I expect from Christians. It's exactly what I would expect. Okay. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. No. No. Oh, you're right, Ben. I didn't consider nuh-uh. Well, I was trying to... I know there's people requesting, but I was trying to find that bigoted kid and block him. Couldn't find him, though, unfortunately. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, Captain J. How old are you?
I'm 18. You aren't a...
Okay. Hold on. Oh, I already have that. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Bradley Cooper. All right. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are an adult and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, Rolls Royce. How old are you?
I want to suck your fat beak.
I'm good. Thanks. Okay. Oh, yeah, that person came up and did that before. Hey, thanks, Philo Dragon. You fucking rule. You know I love you. Thanks, Poopman Jones. That's the second time that guy's come up and just had insane noise in the background.
Hello?
Hi, oh, how old are you?
Me, I'm 19.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
Christian.
And what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
Yes, so premise one would be, if the Phobos dilemma is true, then God exists. If the Phobos dilemma is true, therefore God exists.
The what?
Phobos dilemma.
What's that?
Do you want me to give like a brief summary, or do you want me to like give the entire thing?
How do you even spell it?
F-U-B-U-S and then dilemma.
Is this just some troll bullshit?
No.
Some racist bullshit?
What? What are you talking about?
Yeah, where's this from?
You can read this in Stanford Encyclopedia, IEP. Like what?
So we'll look up in the SEP.
Oh, did you call me racist? Wait, what? I'm confused.
Yep, nope, nothing in the SEP.
I can give you the article.
Yeah, what's it called?
What is going on? What's it called? Just bro, you're fetish.
Yeah, that's a racist piece of shit. Thanks, Poopman Jones. Yeah, that was just racist bullshit. And of course, that's the best that the Christians have, unfortunately. So yeah, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Now, Cooper, how old are you? Fair enough. Hey, Mari, how old are you?
I'm 18.
And what God do you believe in?
Don't believe in any, I just believe in the existence of God.
All right. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Let me... Okay. Maybe somebody actually wants to have a serious conversation, but we'll find out. Ah, damn it. Easton, how old are you?
I'm 18.
And what God do you believe in?
Christianity.
Okay. And what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God? Hello?
I mean,
what?
Can you hear me? I was really trying to like listen to what you have to say because I'm kind of like just like I don't know. I'm kind of like iffy about it. Like I just want to know how like your perspective on it is.
Well, I mean, my perspective is that there's no reason to believe in a God. I mean, it's not, from as far as I can tell, based on the concept of causation, it's not even possible for God to cause the universe to come into existence. Causation, as far as I can tell, is a spatial and temporal relationship between causes and effects, events, objects, whatever. Do you agree that cause and effect is a spatial and temporal relationship between causes and effects? I can't hear you if you're off the app.
Yeah, but I mean,
is causation a spatial and temporal relationship between a cause and an effect?
No.
Okay, then what is causation?
Fat fucking pig.
Yeah, that's exactly what they've got. All right. Is it just all trolls at this point? Just like 100% trolls? Or is it just that intimidating to actually provide support for your position that they start trolling, right? That they pretend to be trolls because they know that they have nothing else. G. Austin, whatever, I'm definitely not letting you up. I mean, why would I let another troll up? I already know that you're a troll. All right, Barajas, how old are you?
I'm 21.
And what God do you believe in?
Honestly, you're just fucking fat, you fat bitch.
Is that it? You running away now because you know you have nothing? Oh, because you got blocked. Okay, fair enough. Tegan, how old are you?
You're a fat turd.
What the fuck? What is it? What did I do? What did I do? G. Austin, I already know you're a troll. You've been up here before, and you're a troll. You have nothing. I already know that. Hi, Jeff. How old are you?
52.
Okay, and what God do you believe in? I cannot hear you.
I believe in God,
What God do you believe in?
the Almighty.
Okay, well, I need you to actually give me an answer that tells me what God you believe in, or we can't move forward. So for the last time, what God do you believe in?
Well, I'm a little confused myself, tell you the truth.
Do you believe in the Christian God? Do you believe in the Muslim God, the Jewish God, some like idiosyncratic personal version of God that nobody else believes in, the Hindu gods, the Norse gods? What God do you believe in?
I believe in the God that loves.
Okay, I don't even want to hear the end of that sentence. All right. So yeah, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're an adult and you have some kind of argument or evidence for God. Hi, Rusty. How old are you?
I'm 18.
Hi, Flakita. How old are you?
Hi, I'm 45.
And what God do you believe in?
Well, I just want to,
All right, fair enough. Hi, Walking Edits. How old are you?
Give me a chance.
Okay. Well, I know I don't want to talk to 8-year-olds. All right. This is fucking insane, you guys. Like, what the hell is even happening? All right. So if you're in the guest queue, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. All right, Cass, how old are you?
I'm 19.
And what God do you believe in?
I'm a theist.
Okay. So you don't believe in any particular religion or book, just an immaterial mind that created the universe?
Basically, that's kind of it. Yeah.
Okay. What's the best argument or evidence that would give us reason to believe in a God?
That nothing comes from nothing.
Why would that give us a reason to believe in a God?
Because you can't create anything without a creator or something with a logical mind.
Why should we think that things were created?
What?
You're saying that there's some creation that needs to have happened and it has to have been by the creator, but if there wasn't a creation event, then there doesn't need to be a creator. So why should we think that there was a creation event?
Well, I mean, look at the world.
Okay, when I look at the world, I don't see a reason to think that it was created. So obviously I need more than that. What's the reason to think that there was a creation?
If a person builds a house, did they not create the house? Was it just there?
Well, we have background information about houses, so that allows us to know how they come into existence, right? We've seen houses being built. How many universes have humans watched come into existence?
We've only seen one.
No, we've seen zero. No, we've seen zero universes come into existence.
There's been a beginning of the universe that we live in.
How do you know that? That's the question.
That we know of, that we live in.
How do you know there was a beginning?
Because the Big Bang, there's literally...
The Big Bang says nothing about there being a beginning of the universe. That's just about the expansion of the universe. I'm asking about how do you know the universe began to exist, not whether it began to expand.
When it began to exist, once people started recording down life, and once people started having human interactions.
Okay, so the universe didn't begin to exist until humans started writing things down?
That's when we were able to comprehend
life. How do we know that the universe began to exist?
Because we are living.
Okay, and what does us being alive have to do with the universe beginning to exist?
Because there isn't, again, when it comes back to my argument, that nothing can't come from anything.
I think you mean something can't come from nothing. But you
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah,
both,
my bad.
you and I both, okay, well, actually, I think between the two of us, I'm the only one that thinks something can't come from nothing. What did God make the universe out of?
I don't know. I'm not God.
Okay, so why do you think that he even made it if you don't know how it was done?
Because I'm a living person with a conscious mind.
Okay, you keep saying that, but that's not support for your claim. So for the last time, what is the reason why we would think that the universe had a beginning?
That's okay. I'll give you another argument. With life and nature,
What is the
you
reason
say
to think that the universe had a beginning? You're either conceding that you don't have a reason to believe that, or you're giving me the reason.
Well, I gave you a reason. But
You
you're
didn't
saying
give
that
a
it's
reason.
not- it's
You did not
strong
give a
enough, so I'm
reason.
giving you another reason.
You did not give a reason to think that the universe has a beginning. So what is the? Do you have a reason to think that the universe had a beginning?
I have another one since.
Do you
said
have a
me
reason to
not
think that the
living
universe
is
had a
not
beginning?
reason. Bro.
This is a
if
yes
I
or no
literally
question.
just gave you
This
an
is a yes
answer,
or no
me
question.
living is my answer.
So
That's
I'm
what
going to ask
saying.
it one last
Us
time, and if you
life
can't give a
and creation.
direct answer, I'm just going to move on. Do you have a reason to think that the universe had a beginning?
Yes.
And what is the reason to think that the universe had a beginning?
The creation of Earth.
Okay. It's sad that that is like the best guest that we've gotten in quite a while. That's sad. All right. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're an adult and have some kind of argument or evidence for God. Now, David, how old are you?
I'm 18.
And what God do you believe in?
I believe in Jesus Christ.
And what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
Could you repeat that? I couldn't hear you.
What's the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God? I can't hear you if you're off the app.
Sorry. You don't necessarily have to believe in it. It's just a choice. But that's what I grew up in. So,
Is there any reason to
Like, I
believe
don't-
that God exists?
I mean, I don't have any evidence because I'm just...
Okay, fair enough. Well, isn't that fun? Thank you, everybody, for the support. Dabnese, Sleepy Chud, that sounds fun. Melatonin, thank you so much. Lem, Philo Dragon, Melatonin, Peacemonger, John, the music producer, CYNC, Lem, Broken Tree Branch, Carlos, both sides, thank you so much. Jason DeBateman, Lupine, Zell, everybody, I sincerely appreciate it. I don't know what is it, friends? Yeah, okay. Thank you very much for the support. Bofom, appreciate it. All right. Maybe we can have one good conversation. We'll see. Hey, Bo, how old are you?
What's going on, man? I'm 40.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
So I actually don't believe in a God. I'm an atheist. I just wanted to say something real quick, if you're okay with that.
Please make it quick.
Yeah, it's just a single sentence, man, or just a single thought. I just gotta say, man, I've been watching you for the past 5. I love your lives. I've been watching you for the past 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes or so. And I gotta say, man, ain't no hate like Christian love, dude. You've got the patience of a saint, bro.
Well, I appreciate it. Hopefully we can actually have a good conversation at some point. But
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll drop down. I just wanted to come up here and say that I appreciate your live. I appreciate you, your personality, man. You're doing a great job, and these guys should all be ashamed of themselves.
well, I appreciate it, and I hope that you have a good one. Take care. All right. Hi, Zen. How old are you?
I'm 18.
Well, maybe in a few years you will be. Hi, LL. How old are you?
Show me that car,
I think I'm good. Thanks, though. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are an adult and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, Niggy. How old are you?
Why are you so fat?
Mostly because you're a piece of shit. Probably. If you stop being a piece of shit, I'll slim down real quick. Want to try? Hi, Jake. How old are you?
37.
Okay. And what God do you believe in?
Christian.
Okay. And what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
Well, you said earlier that...
Could you turn the TV down?
Sorry, I'm getting gas, actually. But you said earlier that you believe that there's infinite possibilities for the start of the Earth, correct?
No.
So you said it had a beginning.
I said the Earth had a beginning? I mean, I guess the Earth has a beginning, sure. Are you talking about the universe, though, or the planet?
Yeah, the universe.
Oh, no, I did not say the universe had a beginning. Somebody else said the universe had a beginning and that it was
Okay,
created,
must have
and I asked for the justification for the claim.
So my question would be, what created the universe?
Why should we think that it was created at all?
So it's always been there.
I'm asking you a question. Your claim is that the universe was created. Why should I think that the universe was created?
Because, I mean, it's only logical that it had a beginning.
If it's logical, then you can provide the logical inference. What's that?
Because it exists. It had a beginning.
Well, yeah, your claim is that it had a beginning. What's the support for the claim that it had a beginning?
Simple logic.
Okay, what's the logic?
If something's there, it obviously had to start somewhere.
Oh, okay, so you're saying that if something exists, then it must have had a beginning?
Yes.
Oh, okay, well, that's actually what I would call a Trojan argument. Because unfortunately, hidden inside your premise there, that everything that everything that exists has a beginning, is the disproof of God. Because if everything that exists has a beginning, then that means that if God exists, God has a beginning. However, if God exists, God doesn't have a beginning, so that means God doesn't exist. So you have disproven God. Congratulations.
I don't think so.
I mean, you just did it. I'll put it up on the screen and everybody can see exactly what happened. Jake's claim is that everything that exists had a beginning, and then God exists. So then our first conclusion we would draw here is that God had a beginning. However, we know that if God exists, he did not have a beginning. Those are two different words. So then our final conclusion here would be that God does not exist. Through the power of modus tollens, God doesn't exist. So like I said, this is a Trojan principle you've got here, a Trojan premise, because it inside of it hides the conclusion God does not exist.
So you're saying there could be infinite possibilities?
No, I didn't say anything like that. I said the thing that you said demonstrates God doesn't exist. So if you don't want to have to accept the conclusion God doesn't exist, you probably shouldn't say that everything that exists had a beginning, and you would need a different reason to think that the universe had a beginning. By the way, this is how logic works, just in case you were wondering.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so what's the logic that would tell us that the universe had a beginning?
Because it began. It's logical to believe that.
What's the logic that tells us it has a beginning? This is the last time I'm asking.
I don't have any other argument.
I agree.
Sorry.
Granted. I grant that you don't have an argument. I grant that you believe it without reason. All right. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're an adult and you have some kind of argument or evidence for God. I was talking with some folks today, and apparently there's a streamer, I don't remember the name of the streamer, that says a Trojan source, where like somebody like brings up a source to support their point, and then it turns out that the source actually disproves their point. And obviously Trojan source is fun because it sounds like Trojan horse, but what I like is the that you can use that for a lot of stuff, right? The closest I've been to believe an argument. I don't know. I think the closest I've come to believing in God in the last, like, I don't know, probably like 10, 15 years, the closest I've come to believe in God was one time I don't remember if I was like drunk or something or what, but I started getting all paranoid that I was being like overly confident, that maybe I didn't have enough reason to think that God doesn't exist. And I got like real paranoid about it. And so I kind of like went back through and a bunch of different arguments to try to see if I was being overly confident or if I actually was justified in that position. And then it turned out I was justified. So the closest thing that has come to convincing me of a God in the last like 10 to 15 years has just been my own anxiety. But hey, maybe we can actually have a good conversation here. We'll find out. Hi, Wasted. How old are you?
I'm 19.
What God do you believe in?
Jesus.
Okay. Do you want to get the troll out now, or?
I don't know what you're talking about. That's a red herring.
And what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
Fine tuning or anxiety.
What?
Fine tuning.
And what would you say? What fine tuning argument do you want to present?
I think constants or maybe observability would probably be the best ones.
Okay. Why would observability give us reason to believe in a God?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
God damn it, you bitch ass chat. What are you guys doing?
I don't know why I didn't put it together immediately.
I was debating on acting like an Australian, but I knew I couldn't pull it off.
Oh.
Do you get the username?
I do now, yeah. It took me a minute.
Okay.
You son of a bitch.
Damn it.
It was probably going to be the best argument of the night, though.
I know. Damn it.
Well, I could tell that you were like, yeah. I heard the little smirk in your voice.
I have a smile on my face.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Well, if you don't have more people, we could continue, but I know you got more people.
Well, I mean, maybe Wasted can drag a good argument out of somebody. You want to try?
Yeah.
Or come back on your real account real quick?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right. Come right back. I think that the only thing I can think of with any kind of confidence that could convince me that a God exists would be like a deductive argument. Yes, he did get me, and the chat saved me. Like I said, I think the only thing that I can think of specifically that would give me a reason to believe would be a deductive argument, a sound deductive argument, right? I can't imagine what else would give me reason to believe, but there could be something. All right. Maybe Sober can coax a good argument out of somebody. I guess we'll bring up one of the beggars since that seems to be all we've got left.
Yo.
Hi, L. How old are you?
I'm 20 years old. I have a deductive argument if you'd like.
Okay. You said you're 20, and what God do you believe in?
Yeah, I'm a Christian. I have two arguments. One that establishes theism, and then one that obviously derives the Trinity from, theism.
Okay. What's the argument that establishes theism?
Yeah, so it's Franco Luscas's model theoretic argument. I'm not sure if you heard of it. It just goes like this: if elementary
It's what?
self-embeddings preserve every
It's what
physical
argument?
structural property,
It's what argument?
Franco Luscas, he's on this app. It's his model theoretic argument. Are you familiar with model theory?
Model theory? No.
This isn't like formal logic, like.
Are you talking about
like semantics? What?
Okay, I don't know. I don't know what model theory. A mathematical logic studies the relationship between formal languages and their interpretations or structures.
Yeah, the interpretations or structures part. Model theory deals with structures, which would carry the interpretation of the formal languages. So basically, it's a logical argument that derives theism from the Franco-Luscas system. So I can give the argument if you'd like.
Okay.
Yeah, it's if elementary self-embeddings preserve every.
Oh, no, L. Nope.
What happened?
No, you're not using jargon. You're not using, like specialized terminology.
Jargon. I can explain all the terms.
No, you're not explaining terms either. You're just using normal, everyday people language. And if you can't do that, then you don't understand the argument well enough to present it.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I've
Okay,
only
so
done it down
present
so
so
much 'cause
present
this is
premise
model
one.
theory.
So
So I'll say
present
it simply.
so present premise one without any jargon.
Yeah. So if there is a function from a model into itself that preserves
Hold
the
on,
truth of
hold
every
on. If there's a
statement,
function from a model
yeah, into itself that
into
preserves the truth
itself
of,
that preserves
yeah, the truth of every statement
the
expressible in the
truth
structure's
of
formal
every. I
language.
can't write that much, dude. You got to calm. You got to slow the fuck down.
My bad.
If
Sorry,
there's
I'm
a
used to
function from a model
faster
into itself,
things.
if there's a function from a model into itself, what does from a model into itself mean?
Yeah. So a function obviously is a mapping relation between two sets.
Okay, well,
Or,
so then
we
what
set
you
the
need to do is
identity.
start over,
What happened?
start over, and only use terms that you aren't going to have to define.
Well, I mean, these are basic terms within math. If you can't understand it, that's a you problem, not a me problem.
So
want me to
no,
know.
it's a you problem if you can't present the argument in the way that people can understand. So try
Well, I
again,
am.
start
I'm
over from the
presenting it in
beginning.
the most basic form.
So
You're
start over.
struggling.
So start over from the beginning and give the argument in a way that everybody can understand.
Okay. If there is a binary relation, that's a mapping relation, right, from a model to
Nope.
another model.
Nope.
that
Nope.
could-
That's it. You're
That's
done.
literally the most basic.
Nope. You're done. I'm not playing those games. If you can't just present the concept of your argument in a way that everybody can understand, then you don't understand the argument. I don't know, sober. Like when you're trying to explain like a complex physics concept to somebody that doesn't study physics, do you use all the like most high tech, idiosyncratic jargon that you can, or do you just try to explain it on a level that anybody could understand?
No, I normally don't quote Neil, but he did drop a really good quote. He said, "If you can't explain it like you can explain it to a child, then you don't understand it."
Yeah. It's pretty obvious that if you need to rely on obfuscatory language, then you don't understand the argument well enough to actually defend it from response, right? Because the only reason to present an argument in a confusing and jargon-filled way that people can't understand is literally because you know that if you presented it in a way they could understand, you would be fucked. You would get crushed, right? I mean, the only reason to do that is to protect yourself from somebody actually knowing what your argument is so that they can respond to it intelligently. Pretty obvious.
I think it's ironic that L's in the chat like spam chatting and saying that we're coping.
Yeah. If you actually could give the argument in a way that anybody could understand, I would have listened to it and I would have dealt with it. I would have responded to it. And hey, maybe you would have even converted me. But now you lost your opportunity because you wouldn't use normal fucking people language. All right. Maybe we can have an actual conversation. I'm trusting you to make these good, sober. This is on you if they go bad from here on out.
I'll chime in and help. I'll be devil's advocate if I have to.
Hello.
Hi, Tarzay. How old are you?
I'm 24.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
I believe in Yahweh.
Okay, you're Jewish?
No, I'm not Jewish.
Okay, well then you need to give an unambiguous answer. What God do you believe in?
Well, you asked me what God specifically, and I'm referring to Yahweh. I would say that I would be a Christian.
Okay, well then you probably should have just said that from the beginning. What's the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in God?
Can I answer your question with a question?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so this goes back to
Is there any chance you can like cover your background noise at all?
Yeah. This has something to do with the last person's answer.
I don't really
One of the
care.
last
What's the
people-
argument or evidence for God?
Right, I'm gonna stem off of that. This person was talking about the beginning, like the
Okay.
how things have a beginning.
Just give the argument. I don't care what other people were talking about.
All right, so I guess one of the best arguments for me, in my opinion, would have to be that everything exists.
How does everything existing give us a reason to believe in God?
Because it has to exist from something. It has to stem from something, right? I'm using an
Okay, so
example
what
that
you're
someone's
saying,
given to me
so
before.
so what you're saying is everything that exists has to have a source that it comes from?
Yes.
Okay, well this is just another Trojan premise. Because if it's the case that everything that exists has a source that it comes from, then that means that God would have to have a source. But if God exists, then he doesn't have a source. Therefore, God doesn't exist. based on your principle.
And I can give you a reason why God exists without having to have a source.
Tara, let me help you out. You want to say everything that begins to exist needs a source. That's what
Exactly.
you want to say.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say, right?
Okay, so everything that begins to exist needs a source. Why
should
should we think that the universe began to exist?
Well, because the universe had to have a beginning, right? The reason
No.
God doesn't
Why
have
should
a
we think that
beginning-
the universe had a beginning?
Because you do.
Why should we think
Every-
that the universe had a beginning?
Because everything that was created was good and created in the image of God.
Yeah, but you're just assuming that it was created. So again, why should we think that it had a beginning and that it was created? That's what you're
Well,
supposed to be supporting.
Look, we have to put it like this. Let's say the Bible is true and everything.
No.
that it says, right?
Just start from ground zero and give me a reason to think that the universe had a beginning.
Because you have to come from it with an open-minded approach. You
No,
have to
yeah,
understand that
the
you
only
can't-
way that I'm going to be convinced of anything is if you give me a reason to think that it's true. So what is a reason to think that it's true that the universe had a beginning?
Okay, so this is what I'm trying to get at. Look, God doesn't need to.
Okay,
have
we're
a
just
beginning.
assuming that God exists. So without
Yes,
assuming,
assume that
stop.
God exists.
No, stop. Do not assume that God exists. So starting from the position that we don't like, let's imagine that we're both in a position where we don't know whether God exists or not, and we're trying to figure it out. What would be the reason to get from not believing in God to believing in God? You're saying that it's because the universe was created, but what's the reason to believe that?
Consistency.
I don't have any idea what consistency has to do with this.
Okay, because everything written in the Word of God is consistent. It
No,
all
it's
just
not.
connects. It
No,
connects.
it's not. That's not true. So just give me a reason to think that the universe was created, that
Can
it
you
had a
give me
beginning.
a reason why it's not consistent, and I can
Why,
rebut?
why would you think the universe is consistent?
No, he's saying the
Okay,
word of
so
God is consistent.
The Word of God
Yeah,
is
but he spoke the
consistent.
universe
It's
into
all
existence.
connected. He did speak the universe into
Yeah,
existence.
so the universe should be consistent, right?
It is.
How? Wait,
It's
is
consistent. It's consistent
life,
with us in this way. It's consistent with us
is
in
life
this way.
being permissible consistent?
Can you describe the word permissible? Define
Yeah,
it.
like allowed.
So can you re-ask the question using the word allowed?
Yeah, is life being allowed within our universe consistent, or is it only in like certain spots?
I would say that it's consistent.
No. No.
You know, there's
Listen,
lots of
listen.
places in the universe where life can't exist, right? Like the vast majority of it.
I mean, I've never been outside of the world. All I know is what I know, which is Earth. But I'll tell you this.
So then
All
why
right?
are you trying to make
So
claims
it's
about the entire
consistent.
universe?
Because I was like, what's it called, covering up for the last dude because I know what he was.
Don't
trying to
cover
say.
up for the last guy. Just give an actual argument. So far, the best that we've gotten from you is that God exists because the universe had a beginning. But I still
You had
haven't
a
heard a
beginning.
single reason to think that the universe has a beginning.
Because it's consistent. Everything had a beginning besides God.
What do you mean by consistent?
Because look, okay.
What do you
like
mean
I
by
said, put it
consistent?
in- Because it's all consistent. It
What?
all connects.
Oh, what you mean by consistent is that it's consistent. Oh my God, why didn't I think of that? Obviously, that's not informative, dude. Why? What do you mean by consistent?
Okay, so let's put it like this: everything in the Bible does not.
What do you mean by
contradict itself.
consistent?
That's what I'm saying.
Just
I'm describing
define.
what I'm
Just
saying.
define the word consistent.
I'm describing how I'm using. The
No,
word consistent.
just define the word consistent. You notice how when you asked Sober to define a word, he literally just immediately gave the definition on how he was using it, and then he was
it
able
never,
to.
It never changes.
Okay, so you're saying the universe is consistent, and by the universe being consistent, you're saying it never changes.
The Word of God is consistent.
No, you said the universe is consistent.
The Word of God is consistent.
Is the
That's what I'm
universe
that's
consistent?
specifically, is the universe consistent?
That would follow Tar, by the way.
I mean, technically. I
Okay,
would
so
say-
the
I would
universe
say
never.
it is.
So what you're saying is the universe never changes.
I mean, it's gonna have a beginning and an end. If we take
No!
the perspective that the
All right,
Word
you know
of
what?
God
I'm going to
is
give you one more
consistent.
opportunity to actually give like a linear, straightforward argument, and if you can't do that, I'm just moving on. What is the reason to think without using the word consistent or saying anything about consistency, because that's not getting us anywhere? What is a reason to think that the universe was created?
Because you were created.
Okay, fair enough. You could have just said that you didn't have anything. Now, when you took from consistent sober was completely different than what I thought he was saying, and then when he clarified, it was completely different than either of us thought.
Yeah, I couldn't help.
Yeah, I don't think anybody could have helped that. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure you're an adult and you have some kind of argument or evidence for God. I don't know why I'm still going, to be honest with you. I should have stopped like 40 minutes ago. Hi, Clips, how old are you?
what he said.
And what God do you believe in? Uh-huh. Oh, that's the God I believe in too. That dude waited in the guest queue for like, I don't know, almost an hour.
That's that's good commitment. Can't really get mad at that.
I guess, yeah. If you're gonna do the bit, be committed to it. I don't know. I'll try to see if we can have one more conversation. Hopefully, an adult who actually has an argument or evidence for God. I'm sorry, Malik. I'm not gonna do you. Doesn't seem like this fisherman is going to join. I don't know. I'm just picking at random at this point to hope it's not a fucking troll. Also not joining? Oh, sick.
You might just have to get CT in here.
Yeah, try to see if Thinker will debate me. Catholic Thinker will debate me. Every time we debate, we end up like zoning in on like one super like obscure specific
It's the same
issue.
exact thing we do.
Yeah.
Anytime I debate Catholic.
Okay. Well, I guess we can get the power scaler out of the way.
Yo, it's good.
All right. Who would win, Superman or Goku?
Yo, what? Superman or Goku? Goku. All right, but you want me to give an argument for God?
How old are you?
I'm 18.
And what God do you believe in?
I believe in the Christian God.
Okay. And what would you say is the best argument or evidence?
Yeah, so you know the argument that the L guy was giving? I think that's the best evidence for God.
Yeah. Can you present it in a way where any normal person can understand it?
Yeah, so do you know what an elementary embedding is or no? Or do you need me to explain it to you like he did?
No, you're not going to explain anything. You're just going to use normal language. And if you can't do that, then you don't know the argument well enough to be debating it.
Okay, so wait, I have a question. So, like, when you're in environments where people need to be taught things, you shouldn't have to explain it to them, right? Because they should just know it in a way.
Okay, so I'll ask one more
so we can
time.
talk
Can you present the argument in a way that a normal person can understand?
Yeah, I'll present it to you. But
Oh,
do you want me
fantastic.
to
So then
tell you
go
the
ahead
terms
and
or
stop
no?
with the meta.
All right, do you want me to, it's not meta. I'm asking you a question. Do you want me to explain it to you or not so you can understand it, you dumb fuck?
No. Yeah, you're not explaining things. You're just giving the argument in a way that a normal person can understand. Go ahead.
Bro, I don't understand your logic here. If I try to explain like a difficult physics topic to you, and like if I don't use like elementary analogies for you to understand,
yeah, thank you.
you
That's
don't
exactly what I was going to do. I was going to
You're
use
you're gonna use
simple
physics?
language to explain it. No, I wasn't going to use physics. I'm saying
Okay.
I'm just going to do what you're talking about, which is using simple language. Which, I mean, the L guy already explained it in a pretty simple
He was
way.
not using simple language, but
He wasn't? Okay, he was talking about a function being mapped onto itself. How is that confusing? Do you not know what a function is? What's a
you
function?
can't break that down to any simpler form whatsoever.
I mean, what else is there to break down about a function? A function.
I'm asking if you can or cannot.
Yeah, I mean, I could. I
Okay,
guess.
then there's
Then
simpler
do it.
language. Now is there?
You fucking idiot. Then give the argument and stop complaining.
I'm an idiot, but you didn't know what a function. is.
Crying like a
You
little
know,
bitch is all I hear. Do you have? Can you give the argument or
crying like a
not?
little bitch, you were literally crying up here like. A
Oh, I
pussy
know. I'm
because you
crying
were
so
mad.
hard. So give the argument.
Okay, yeah, sure, but let me explain to you what a function is.
No, you're not explaining things. Either you're
function
giving
is
the
just a
argument
rule
in a
that assigns
normal,
exactly one
either you're
output.
giving the argument in a way that a normal person can understand, or you're not giving the argument. So this is your last opportunity. Go ahead and give the argument.
Okay, AK, calm down before I smack that shit. All right, chill. Dang, bro, you're getting all angry for
Yeah,
no
just
reason.
showing everybody that you've got nothing. You know, if you give the argument in a way that I can understand it, you're
Okay,
gonna
I'm
get
giving you
fucked.
the-
You're gonna get completely crushed. You already know it, and that's why you refuse to
Yo,
give it
you
in a
wanna
way that
crush
I
me
can
for
engage
you're
with it.
weird. Okay, no, I'm explaining the argument in a simple way.
No, you're not
I'm
going to
gonna break down-
explain
yes,
the
I am.
argument. No, you're not going to
You don't want me to
explain the
explain
argument.
the argument,
You're
so you
just
want me
going to
to give the
give the argument in a way that I can understand and engage with.
Okay, well, wait, what if I give
This
it
is
in a
your
way that
last
I can-
opportunity. Give the argument or get the fuck out.
Oh, you're mad. You're so
I know,
mad.
I'm so
Okay,
mad,
so look,
obviously.
You already admitted there's a simpler form, right? So
Yeah,
why
yeah, I
why
did.
do-
Yeah, I
why
admitted it's a
no
simple
listen
form.
listen. You said he described it in the simplest way, but admitted there's a simpler form. How's that follow?
No, I said okay. Well, hold on. When I said
You didn't
he
admit
described it in
that?
simple
Are you
way,
backtracking?
Obviously, I'm speaking. hyperbolically. I'm saying that he should.
That was
All right, no, we're done
Yeah,
with the
it
meta.
was.
We're done with the meta. The next thing. Yep, that's all you've got, isn't it? So give the argument or fuck off.
All right, bro. But okay, I'll give the argument to you. Okay, so hold on, just give me 1 second, bro. Let me like pull up my simpler translation from ChatGPT, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you were incapable of.
Oh, I got to get ChatGPT to translate the argument that I got from ChatGPT. He gave the simplest possible version, even though there is a simpler version. I just don't know what it is because ChatGPT hasn't told me yet.
I think people who debate like fantasy need to stay on that side.
I know. Yeah, if what you're good at debating is, you know, anime power scaling, then by all means go debate anime power scaling as much as you want. Well, I think that just demonstrates exactly what the Phil Bros have. So another Phil Bro.
Well, it seems me being up here hasn't helped you that much. You've kind of gotten the same results.
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, I should have ended like 45 minutes ago. So I'm just going to call it. Thank you for coming up, though. I appreciate you regardless.
No problem. Also, Catholic, you think Goku would lose?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right. Well, one of the two of you has to go live and duke it out now.
No, I can't. I can't transition to that side. No question.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I am going to go ahead and end for the evening, but I appreciate so much everybody's support. Oh, I should probably say, M-Dog, thank you so much for the support. Lamb, Lupine, Just AG, DJ, I can't talk, Dabnice. Thank you so much, everybody. I genuinely... Oh, Sober left. Okay, well, fair enough. I'm ending. But thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Sober. Thank you to the mods for stepping up and helping out. I do need... whatever. I'll do that another time. The last thing that I want to say are two things. I want to remind everybody that tomorrow is not guaranteed. So you don't know how many opportunities you're going to have to let your family and friends know how much they mean to you. So make sure that you take those opportunities while you have